really hope whatever Gallus is saying. Okay, let me see this.
I was most definitely one of those motherfuckers.
Jesus Christ. Ah, how much water? I have enough water. Fastest hands in the West? Nope. Can't be you. I remember these bots not getting banned by you. You surely can't have the fastest hands in the West. What's going on, by the way, Gallus? I was most definitely one of them motherfuckers. Alright. Let's not linger too long. Let's get back to the past. No Samurai Jack. So, at the end of yesterday's stream, we what all happened yesterday? Fastest sub in the West, no Dom. Okay, come on. We were investigating the poisoning of Gustavio. He wasn't confirmed dead, right? Like, Dane Gustavio was not killed by that poison gas. He was just incapacitated. He's unconscious and in critical condition, right? And as we left, we walked back out into the patio, and we saw a motherfucker face down in the fountain, dead. Now, I didn't see the connection when he pulled up, like in real time, but watching the VOD back, what's going on, Exalted? Watching the VOD back, it's clear to me that that nigga is Isaac Dover, which brings up way more questions than I could have possibly had answers for. Because obviously, right now, as we're looking at it, it's very clear that that this case ends up going to shit. Like, Greg ends up getting the shaft, and our defendant keeps getting found guilty. How you been, Chris? I've been good, young nipple. What's poppin'?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
And there, Gallus said, like he would, give you the gift. Welcome back to the family. Thank you, Gallus. But I didn't think that would entail specifically like us losing the case, meaning the murder victim wasn't actually a murder victim. So this either means Isaac Dover has a twin, or there's just some fuck shit that just has not been explained. But we will not know until we move forward. So we're kicking back off. Gregory is gonna get back into it because we were back in the future, present. We're in the present, and Ray's giving us the breakdown once again. Isaac Dover was murdered at the venue of a dessert contest, and his body was discovered in the chocolate treasure chest made by Jeff Master. The victim died from blood loss after being struck in the head with a rock salt lamp. The murder weapon was found hidden inside Delicia's Candy Castle. Since I dropped a tier 3 on you, should I drop my prime on? Who do you be all using their motes for? Who do you want to use it on? I'm not going to tell you who to use your money on. All of Dover's sherbet sculptures has melted. 18 years ago. December 24th, 9:05 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Patio. Pick one of your friends that is the most consistent streamer. Let's go ahead and look. I'll give you some good, and wouldn't mind seeing their motes in chat. Ooh, yeah, no, because that I already took that into account. Most consistent, who do we got? Damn, nobody? That's a shame. Is nobody. None of my friends stream consistently, and I like their motes. So honestly, pick a name out of the hat. You're pretty much shooting. Yeah, see, this is what we're not gonna do. We'll see you in 10 minutes, Nipple. The sculptures in Mr. Dover's room have melted. Due to that, Prosecutor Von Karma immediately drove us away from the scene. How are we gonna investigate now? And what's with that defense attorney's out? Von Karma's methods are deplorable. Well, investigating the crime scene is supposed to be the police's job, after all. But you gotta admit, Von Karma's methods are way out of line. Defense attorneys and the police should work together to discover the truth. Raymond, you must realize that not everyone shares the same views as us. Should one expose the truth for the sake of justice, or simply accept things as they appear? I would definitely use it on shit since I fuck with his music with Mozart, different story, just a preference, no disrespect on the man at all. Nah, that's definitely not a disrespectful statement. You can say a man's Mozart ass. Like if somebody came in here and says my Mozart ass, I'm like, alright, sick, my Mozart for my community. Like if somebody pulls up and says Cork sucks, I got nothing to say to that. You're right. Cork is a really awful moat. I love that moat, but it's not a great moat. Everyone has their own view on what is right and what is wrong. Even if that means convicting an innocent man? Both ourselves and the police are only human, and as humans we all make mistakes. It's for this reason that we defense attorneys exist, so that those who are alone and helpless can have an ally on their side. An ally on their side? If we cannot investigate, shouldn't we just find some other way to help? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I still have much to learn. You're still young, so you'll have many opportunities to learn. Right, I'll do my best. What's up, Catherine? Monsieur Edgeworth and Monsieur Shields. Would you like to take a brief respite? Or respite? How the fuck you say that word? I know it's not much, but please, eat these. Wow, thank you. Chocolates. Okay, so chocolates being added to evidence. Does this have worse implications on who the actual culprit is?
Let's eat. I appreciate getting some sugar into my system, but these are a little too sweet.
I've only heard respite. I've heard respite, I've heard respite, I've heard both pronunciations. Honestly, whatever it is, I'm not gonna argue with the English majors.
And it's a little misshapen, too.
I'm terribly sorry. Does it not suit your tastes?
Not at all. It's deliciously sweet.
Thank you very much. But making sweets isn't really my forte.
Huh? You made this chocolate cake?
Yes, chocolate is Monsieur Master's favorite food. Preparing his favorite food is also part of my job. But I'm still not that good at it, so I need him to instruct me. I envy Master Jeff. He gets to eat Kate's handmade sweets whenever he wants. Did you say something? No, it's nothing.
This is so sweet, in more ways than one. Miss Hall, you seem very dedicated to your work.
Present-day Catherine Hall got me acting up. Also, hello, what's going on, Ben? Without my work, I wouldn't even have the right to be here. What do you mean? When I was a child, I was abandoned. Monsieur Master took me in. One snowy Christmas Eve, I was left on the doorstep of his mansion. I owe Monsieur Master my life. He became like a father to me. And so, to repay his kindness, I want to continue working for him. Kate, you're incredible. Also, did I walk into Ray trying to slide in those DMs? Yeah, he's been doing it since a young age. Mans knows what he wants. But more importantly, this kind of gives a little more credence to the theory that I had of Kate is responsible for what's going on in the present because she feels super indebted to Masters. So whoever really commits the crime in this time frame is probably going to cause Catherine to just be really upset, right? Or hold a grudge. So there is potential for that to be the case. But we need to see who all, because I don't think it's Delicia. She wouldn't keep Delicia on hire if she found out Delicia was the culprit, right? Because I think the truth comes out at the end of this case. It has to. So I think that we're going to end up learning that Von Karma is fucking with it, and then say, well, no, it has to be this person. That autopsy report doesn't make sense, or some shit like that. Or this evidence doesn't make sense in one way or another. So we'll end up getting to a point where it's like everybody's gonna figure it out, but there's not gonna be a way we can prove it. So Catherine is gonna have to hold that shit for a while. Just hit me. What could you do? What would you do if your Lorenz is on one of the new banner units? I mean, it's possible, but I don't think they're gonna give an. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't think they would give a 3 houses unit an alt before they give them a regular unit. My store goes back 24 hours today. And why did I? Oh no, unfortunate.
I've lived a long life, yet that brought tears to even my eyes.
Today, Christmas Eve has finally arrived once more. But it looks like I won't be able to give him the present I prepared. I would do anything if it meant to save Mr. Monsieur Master. Mr. Monsieur Master? I'm saying all of it, fuck it. I mean, not really. Because Death Knight was just Death Knight. Like, if you want to get into it, that's big spoilers. Craig, this is so sad. Alexa played Despacito and also grabbed me my handkerchief or my son's future cravat. If there's any way I could be of service to you, please ask.
Yes, I appreciate that. Well then, do you happen to know anything about the victim, Isaac Dover?
I don't really know much about Monsieur Dover, but I have a photo of the desserts he made for the contest finals. The sculptures. Okay. So the question is, what were they? Was it Gemini and Taurus, or was it Capricorn and Pisces? Interesting. Yes, with this exquisite beauty, it's truly a work of art. It's crafted so intricately that you almost forget it's made out of sherbet. It seems Monsieur Master was also fond of Monsieur Dover's work as well. Wow, these are the Taurus and Gemini constellations.
Do you know a lot about constellations, Raymond?
Of course, there's so much romance in the constellations. For example, take the club, lyre, and arrow held by Gemini here. These come from... Huh? There are no strings on this lyre. There's no array appears on any banner. I'm disappearing from the internet from the eternity of that banner to work overtime on both my jobs. Jesus Christ. Man, trying to get a fucking plus 20 Rhea. Jesus. I mean, I'll summon for a Rhea. I like Popips. Did Mr. Dover make a mistake in his sculpting? It's hard to think he would make a mistake like that. Huh? I thought you said you didn't know much about him. I just sort of felt that way somehow.
It appears she's hiding something from us. Miss Hall, did you take this photograph yourself?
Oh yeah, you want a full team of plus 10 Reyes? That's fair. I fuck with it. Yes, I took it with this instant camera. It develops pictures instantly. It's one of my greatest treasures. Wow, I would love to see it in action. Well then, why don't we take a picture right now? Yay! Let's have our picture taken, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sure, I don't mind. I'm confident in my hairstyle today.
Alright, I'm taking the picture. Say cheese. Let's see it. Here, it's developed. A present from me to you, Monsieur Shields. We don't get to see it. I assume that when Raymond is bleeding out on the floor and Miles is holding him, he's gonna give him the picture. So we'll see it for the first time then. Thank you so much. That's such a great camera. It's the only camera in this mansion. Unfortunately, its convenience comes at a cost. There are no negatives.
No negatives, huh? Is this the same camera Mr. Master used during the contest?
Yes, you are well informed. While he made his desserts, Monsieur Master photographed his work. After that, he took photos of all the other competitors' works.
Was he taking photos at the time the body was found? Well, the body was discovered during the judging, was it not?
And he came in, Ray seemed smart enough to dodge those flags in the background. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it seems very like they're throwing out Dirk level death flags. Like I can smell death coming. Death seems to be afoot. Phoenix was here, the Cyclops will come flying up. Dog, there's so many, like, just give everybody a Magatama. Fuck it. Go ahead, send it to her. Or send it to him. Send it to everybody. Every fucking smart person gets a Magatama. Monsieur Master intended to take photos of everyone's rooms, but after he photographed Gustavia's room, he ran out of film. Monsieur Master asked me to change the film in the camera. It seemed the film he prepared in advance wasn't enough.
There wasn't enough film.
It seems the number of photos he took didn't match up with the amount of film remaining.
So did somebody else take extra photos?
Well, he told me himself it just might have been a mistake, though.
Was it really just a mistake?
I retrieved more film from the main building and went back to the fountain patio. And it was then that I heard the sound of something breaking in Monsieur Master's room. Okay. So that fits the time frame. You weren't just hiding outside of the room and just waiting. Monsieur Master? Are you in here? Yeah. Then you saw dead bodies. And that's when I found Monsieur Dover's body in Monsieur Master's room. Okay, so what are we saying is most likely right now? It was so terrible. I was really shaken up. Before I spoke to anyone else, I called the police. This camera, I kept it with me ever since. Are we saying that? What are we saying is the most likely for this to be awful? I did it for science. Well, just know the next time you do it if you happen to do it in the future, it's 20 minutes. And that goes for everybody. Starting today, the time goes up. Everybody should have got it out of their system. I don't think Pearl has it in her to exploit talent for money. Yeah, but Trucy does. So if you keep Trucy around, then if they hang out together, it's definitely gonna be. You know what you should do? You should have this shit be sold. We should make some bread on this one. But what are we gonna say? Are we gonna say like who or what is the proper responsibility here? Because, like I said, looking at it, it's very clear that this guy was face down in the fucking fountain. Isaac Dover was face down in the fountain. The hairstyle matches up. Unless it's like his brother or some shit. Or his like somebody dressed up like him, or it's a body that happens to be made out of like confectionery. There's a couple things it could be, but I don't want to lean too hard on one or the other. Pearls just want some city clothes. Yeah, you don't think fucking Trucy would exploit that shit? Come on, Pearl, you can use this to get those city clothes you want.
I see. If it's alright with you, would you mind lending me your camera in that photo?
Sure, I don't mind at all. Here you go.
Thank you very much.
Alright. Develops photos instantly, has the capacity for 20 photos, but there is only film for 3 more. So, after you refilled it, you took 17 pictures? No, you took 16 because the one you just took now would make it 17. Okay. Photo of Dover's room taken by Kate. Okay. Detective Bad, Miss Delicious, is the investigation over already? He said he had no more use for me and kicked me out. Manny, that meanie, what a rude thing to say.
It was probably to ensure that you wouldn't need any more of the crime scene.
So, Detective Bad, did you get kicked out too?
It seems Von Karma thought I was getting in the way. He won't let me investigate. Why would he prohibit his own detective from investigating?
Bad's theme is pretty nice.
But we know just about all there is to know about the crime scene. Right now, he's talking to Gustavia in Dover's room.
Why does he need to speak to Mr. Gustavia?
We heard from Hall that Gustavia was seen entering the victim's room.
Also, we know Shizimotes are any other emotes banned, unless they look super gross. Right now, the only other emote that is not most of Shizzy's modes. Like I said, Shizzy's Courage mode is fine, but the rest of those modes gotta go. But other than that, Joey's fat ass PK face, gotta get that one out of here.
Mr. Gustavo.
Yes, I saw him entering Dover's room, and it seemed like he was trying to avoid being seen. Although I have no idea what he did in there.
He is currently under suspicion for melting Dover's sherbet. Just why did Mr. Gustavia enter that room? I also have a photo of Dover's room here, if you need it. I'll let you take a look at it.
What? Why would you do that for us?
You still don't get it, kid. I'm saying I want to help you guys in order to discover the truth of this case. Detective Bat.
Is that alright, Detective Bat? Won't Von Karma chew you out again?
I have no intention of becoming Von Karma's lapdog. If you won't let me investigate, I'll just do as I like. Getting tied up in stupid rules will only blind you to the truth.
Fuck Manfred Von Karma. All my homies hate Manfred Von Karma.
Isn't that right, Attorney Edgeworth?
Of course, Detective Bat. I thank you. This is amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Now we've got Detective Bat on our side. Had to cough. Greg's hat off bow animation is still clean. Yeah, you can tell that some of those mannerisms are in the bloodline. I don't really get what's going on, but I'm glad you boys are all friends now.
I'm grateful that it'll lend us his strength. Well then, can we see the photo now?
Right. Okay, so it's a photo of currently what's going on. I assume that I'll have to compare this to the photo of before the room, or before the melting.
This is the current state of Dover's room.
Wow, the sherbet is completely melted.
The room is drenched in a light blue liquid. We should compare this to the photo Miss Hall took. Did the sherbet melt because the power cord was pulled out? Yeah, because it was pulled. All of the refrigerated glass cases lost power completely.
Looks like all the power cords were connected to one socket.
Do you have any idea when this cord was pulled out?
No,
it's still under investigation at the moment.
What a waste of beautiful sherbet. Honestly, had I known it would end up like this, I would have eaten even more of the stuff. Did Mr. Dover's sherbet taste that good? Oh, yes-y, his sherbet was most delicious. Really? I wish I could have eaten some too. But there was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it.
Salty?
It's right here in this photo. It's a part of that lyre.
That's the lyre from the Gemini constellation.
Ah, you snuck a bite from the lyre. That's why the strings are missing. Hi, hello, hi. What's going on, Mr. Stars, man? Poppin' slime. Phew. I could have eaten that much. I never could have eaten that much. I could never have eaten. There we go. It was way too salty. Okay, so the lye was really salty. Interesting.
One part of the sherbet tasted different. That's rather curious. Did someone other than her also take a bite out of it? Did you notice anything else?
Now that you mention it, I see sherbet's sculptures had these strange markings. They had two letters carved into them. P and H, let me guess. Wait a minute, there. It looks something like this.
An alphabet signature. It can't be.
Pierre Hoquet. I knew it. I just knew that Monsieur Dover made this lyre. He isn't one to make mistakes in his sculptures, after all. Wait, no. So, does that mean that... Is the Isaac Dover that's dead right now actually Isaac Dover or Pierre Hoquet?
Miss Hall, it's been troubling me for a while, but... Do you know something about Mr. Dover?
How old is Kate in the past? At least like 24, right? Hey, no, not even close. 16. A huge fan of Pierre Hoquet's works. So, well, I mean, There we go.
You seem quite attached to Mr. Dover's handiwork.
That's just because his sculptures are great works of art.
No, I believe that his works are very special to you in particular.
How do you know that?
There is a piece of evidence we believe belongs to Mr. Dover.
And it has, yeah, so the Dover that we're finding now is not actually Dover, but Pierre Hoquet. That would explain why he had his crest on him inside the treasure chest. So it's not actually Isaac Dover, it's Pierre Hoquet? Question mark?
It happened to share a common feature with another piece of evidence.
Please show me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Which two pieces of evidence share something in common?
Two pieces of evidence that point to Mr. Dover.
I mean,
Let's start by presenting the first one.
the crest?
And now the second piece of evidence, which shares a common feature is...
Oh, it's the fucking teapot, because it has the imprint on the bottom.
Delicia saw two letters of the alphabet. They were probably used as Mr. Dover's signature. Just as an artist would sign their name on their works.
Right. His take that is real slick? Yeah. His take that is nice, I just don't think it's as good as his objection or his hold it. I remember now. I see Sherbert's sculptures had PH carved into them, I'm sure of it.
PH. Those aren't Isaac Dover's initials, though. No, but we also found this seal at the scene of the crime. It had probably fallen out of the late Mr. Dover's pocket. If you would press this seal into something, it would mark the letters PH. Also, the very same PH symbol is engraved into this teapot. The same symbol. This teapot was made by the sculptor Pierre Hoquet. In other words, his PH is a signature of Pierre Hoquet. Miss Hall, you know about this signature all too well, don't you?
Yes, Monsieur Hoquet's works always bear that signature. Greg's theme is called A Defense Attorney's Knowledge. That's pretty sick. I'm a huge Phoenix fanboy, but even his hold it can't compare to Apollo's Gotcha. Apollo's Gotcha is like the top tier of shouts in this game. The one that have the bubbles. The Gotcha is the best. Since he never shows himself in public, his signature is used to identify his works.
No way. Are you saying Pierre Hoquet is? It seems Detective Bat has also realized Isaac Dover's true identity. To Miss Hall, Mr. Dover was no ordinary pastry chef. That's because his true identity was...
a sculptor?
That's right. Mr. Dover's true identity was the sculptor Pierre Hoquet.
What? Mr. Dover was a sculptor? Imagine Apollo finding out Manfred's secret in 1-4 and hitting him with a gotcha. Dog, think back to all the other, like, really interesting cases, and think of what particular thing they could have had shown in the, like, the perception screens. Cause, since you aren't playing Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton, you won't hear Phoenix going, hang on. That's fine. I'll live. Like, imagine Apollo looking Manfred in the face and seeing the bullet bulge in his arm. That would be sick.
Things like signatures can be faked if you have original designs. Can you really use that as a proof he was a sculptor? No, but what's important here is that Miss Hall thought he was. As for proving his identity, I'll leave that to the police. I get it. I'll have the boys check up on it.
No Beyonce. As I expected from you, Gregory Edgeworth.
You knew Mr. Dover's real identity all along, didn't you?
Yes. Hang on comes when you're getting multiple witness testimony and Phoenix points out there's some nonsense between two people. That's pretty much how the jury system works in DGS. Might actually have to check out DGS in the future. Damn it. When I discovered the body, I noticed the seal. I knew from that moment he was Pierre Hoquet, the man I greatly admired. Thinking that this would be his final posthumous work, I just couldn't sit still.
So, that's why you entered Dover's room.
Huh? What did you say?
When exactly did you take this photo of Dover's room?
That was... Perhaps this was taken during the judging. Yeah, nope.
Oh, that's strange. I thought you said the camera ran out of film during the judging. Before Mr. Master entered Mr. Dover's room, you were in possession of the camera. Wasn't that why you were able to take the photo when you discovered the body?
Yes, that's right.
The only photos you took with the new film were of Dover's room and the body. If that's the case, a new contradiction comes to light.
Another one? Another one.
A piece of evidence that contradicts the two photos Miss Hall took is...
the camera itself? That is my instant camera.
Well, you've already handed the photos of Dover's room and the body to myself and the police.
That reminds me, didn't you also take a photo of me and Mr. Edgeworth just now?
The film using this camera can take up to 20 photos. However, this camera only has 3 photos left, which leaves 14 photos unaccounted for. Exactly what were they used to photograph?
Also, you are free from any puns in DGS, since most, if not all, the games are references to literary work. Alright. I assume there's going to be some puns, but it's fine. Her dancing when she's nervous is kind of cute. I don't know about that one. It's I don't really think it's cute. You can think it's cute. Nothing wrong with you thinking it's cute, but it's gonna be a no from me, Chief.
Please show us all the photos you took. We'll be able to discern your actions from these photos.
I'm so sorry. I have told a terrible lie.
Don't tell me. All the remaining shots are of Isaac Dover's room.
My deepest apologies. It seems they're all shots of the ice sculptures from various angles.
So when these were taken, the sculptures had not melted yet. But that means the one who caused them to melt was you.
Yes. I am positive that I melted them.
You are positive.
I'm an aficionado of the sculptor Pierre Hoquet, who is actually Monsieur Dover. Before the authorities could defile his masterpiece during their investigation, had something in my eye there. To add on what Ben said, DGS also does away with case titles using turnabout. Well, yeah, because I figured that's strictly for the Phoenix generation. Alright, before they could defile his masterpieces during their investigation, I thought I should preserve them through photographs. Hence I entered his room.
In that case, why'd all the ice melt?
It's probably because, as I was taking the pictures, I became entranced with his works. And it seemed that my foot accidentally got caught in the power cord, unplugging it.
Accidentally, you say?
I did not notice the power cord at the time. I would never have imagined that I would be the cause of those sculptures melting.
Could the truth really be that simple? However, I cannot say with certainty that she is lying.
I am so sorry to have caused you all so much trouble.
As long as you are telling the truth, there's no need to apologize.
That's right. Don't sweat it, Kate. Thank you very much.
Edgeworth. Here, take this picture. Do what you want with it.
Alright, well, 2 photos. Oh, what's going on, pimp?
You meddling fools still haven't given up yet, have you? No matter how long you wait, I have no intention of allowing a defense attorney to investigate. No matter. If we can't investigate, we'll find the truth through some other method. Always ready with a comeback. Well, do try your best.
Excuse me, Monsieur Von Karma? The truth is, it was I who melted the sculptures in Monsieur Dover's room.
What? What's the meaning of this, you clod?
I am truly sorry, both you and Monsieur Gustavia.
Do not be concerned about me. Sir Von Karma has already recognized that I had no hand in this act. That reminds me. Why did you enter Mr. Dover's room, Mr. Gustavia? Well, that was because... Silence, ignoramus. You are not to give that attorney the tiniest hint of information. Catherine Hall, you are coming with me. You are under suspicion of being complicit in the murder.
No.
I shall be interrogating you personally. You best prepare yourself.
Very well.
Please wait. I still have some questions I want to ask her. I do not care for your sorry plight in the least. Bad, Gustavia, and while I'm at it, use well, Scones. I have plenty of questions for you all. Understood.
While I'm at it, he says, the nerve. Well, it's just me and Raymond. He just took everyone away with him.
Yes, even if we stay here, I don't think we'll be able to investigate any further.
Also, I'm going to use Miles as a base for this Chris edit since Apollo's way damn small to be you. Fair enough.
Let's take our leave for now. It's already grown rather late. I hope the snow has stopped by now.
Sounds good. You hungry? I'm starving after all that paper you've been eating, you moron.
Let's stop somewhere for hamburgers, then.
Ah, hamburgers, you say?
Before my stomach joins the chorus.
You can't fight on an empty stomach, after all.
We'll need to report back to Mr. Master with our findings first thing tomorrow.
Oh, to be continued. Eat your hamburgers, Apollo. So what part are we on now? The game doesn't show me like what specific part of the game I'm saved on. So all I know is I've gone through like fucking 4 or 5 to be continueds. Do you want to keep the red suit or do you have a specific color you prefer? If you want to keep the shit, the original colors, might as well keep it the original colors. December 25th, 10 a.m., Detention Center, Visitors Room. Huh? What are you doing here, Kate? Ah, Monsieur Shields and Monsieur Edgeworth. Allow me to apologize once again for all the trouble I've caused you yesterday.
Miss Hall looks a bit tired. Has Von Karma finished interrogating you?
Yes, aside from what happened to all the ice sculptures, I was not at fault for anything else. I'll experiment. Putting experiment in quotes is never a good sign. Doesn't make anyone feel good.
Are you also here to meet with Master Jeffkey?
Yes, I am worried about how he's holding up. What's up, Bad?
Detective Bad, why are you here? I just happen to be here. I'll be heading to the crime scene soon.
I don't think this is a place that people just happen to be, though. Was his hair always white? His hair wasn't always white, was it? What happened? He had black hair before. I remember that clearly. What the fuck happened to him? Dog, Von Karma must have been cooking that nigga. He got old in what, the span of days? Nah. Absolutely not. Master Jeff, what happened to you? Oh no, Monsieur Master, why do you look so poor? I know poor as in like poor health, but it's like, why do you look like you ain't got no money, broke nigga?
I didn't get much sleep last night. The tribulation known as questioning was rather harsh. I'm just a little exhausted. They didn't let you sleep.
Even for an interrogation, that's going too far. Detective Bad.
The detective in charge of the initial investigation was also in charge of the interrogation. I don't like Von Karma's methods, but this was all I could do.
His bottle of Calor Labelle ran out? No, absolutely not. No Labelle niggas. Wouldn't Labelle be like an infant now? Or like a teenager now?
He was the one who brought me here. It seems I was supposed to be interrogated for a little bit longer, though. It seems that Detective Bat is looking out for Mr. Master in his own way. So, shall we inform Mr. Master about what happened yesterday, Ring?
Yes, sir. I got all my memos right here. In your stomach?
Mr. Master, we'd like to inform you about yesterday's investigation. Yes, thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Master Jeff, it's almost like your spirit's gone.
My sugar levels are low, so I might not seem like my usual energetic self.
Monsieur Master.
Do we have anything that can give a spirit and his glucose a boost? We do have those chocolates, don't we?
No, wait, hold on. Will he say anything if we just talk to him straight out?
Mr. Master. Yes, what is it?
You look dizzy, Master Jeff.
My sugar levels are low, so I might...
Okay. We gotta give him chocolate. Take these.
Oh, those chocolates. Are you giving them to me?
Those chocolates are...
If possible, I would like to give them to you immediately. But it's against the rules to give anything to the suspects in the detention center.
I see.
Regrettably, if those are the rules, then there's nothing we can do about it.
Let us break the rules, Bad. Are you sure there's no way we can give them to him?
Detective Bat, it looks like you noticed what we're trying to ask him. I'll inspect the chocolates, and if there are no problems, I'll think about it. Detective Bat, thank you very much.
All right. I knew we could count on you, Detective Bad.
I am truly in your debt. Wait right here.
Bite this chocolates.
Take it. Thank you very much. Not a word to anyone else. It would cause problems for me later. Yes, of course. I apologize for making you go through so much trouble. Now I shall partake in eating these delicious delights at once. I'm sorry for asking of you to do something so dangerous, Detective Bat. I only did what I wanted to do.
Why can't you just be honest here, Detective?
Oh, how sweet.
It's like I've come back if his hair changes color back to black.
Did Kate make these chocolates?
Yes, sir, I did. How does it taste? Okay. M&M niggas? No. Skip Bayless.
Thank you for the tasty treat. Oh, they're a bit misshapen, but so sweet and delicious. Thank you.
I'm so glad that you enjoyed it.
And above all, it helped you regain your spirit. Thank you for your concern. The food they serve here has been absolutely tasteless. And combined with the lack of sleep, I was thoroughly exhausted.
Is the food here that bad?
Just salted beef stew. Your average prison fare. That is odd. I could really not taste anything. Whatever. I'm about to head out.
I need that. Hold on. I'm probably gonna end up editing the fucking to the crime scene out of that, but I could just probably clip that and have it so that it's what's the word? and play it in slow motion, I can clip it right when it says I'm about to head out. Oh, that's great. I'm glad that that's in there.
Please wait, Detective Bat. Can you give us any new information? Yeah, I think I can. We've identified the victim. Just as you said, Isaac Dover was a sculptor who worked in France. Seems he went by the name Pierre Hoquet.
Doug, the fact that he's not taking whatever he has in his fucking shoulder pocket out makes me really think it's a holster.
Isaac Dover was Pierre Hoquet. How could that be?
Monsieur Pierre Hoquet. So Pierre Hoquet wasn't actually French, huh? Don't eat it. Right.
Which is likely why he never showed himself in public while he worked under that name.
So Pierre Hoquet I mentioned was something kind of dumb. Correct.
Zodiac sculptures. They were his masterpiece, it seems.
Pierre Hoquet in Japanese is something close to digging one's own grave. But it's French.
Although they will remain forever unfinished.
Unfinished? Even though they were his masterpiece?
Seems he worked on them by season. Once he finished the remaining winter constellations, his work would be done.
Uh-huh. The winter constellations are Taurus and Gemini, right?
So those ice sculptures were his final pieces.
It is heartbreaking that they melted. I cannot apologize enough. No, I wasn't blaming you or anything.
Also, Dover was infamous for being greedy. He would charge hundreds of thousands just to make a single sculpture. It seemed like he always had money troubles. The murder might be related to that, but it's still under investigation.
So, he had money problems even though he was a famous artist?
Do you know why he entered a dessert contest? Not yet. He kept it a secret, even from his family. I see. It's time. I'm bringing in the replacement guard. I can't hang around here any longer than I have. Yes, I understand. Let's meet again later.
So do we actually not get to talk to Master?
That detective is a kind soul. Indeed. He never strays from his own beliefs. He truly has a strong will.
But he's pretty scary when you first meet him.
I see. Could you tell me everything that happened yesterday? Of course. Allow me to give you a report of our investigation.
So this is what happened. I'm sorry for the trouble Kate has caused you. I'm truly very sorry.
You have no need to worry as long as you have told the truth, Miss Hall. Mr. Master, would you mind if I ask you a few questions as well?
Yes, I shall divulge all that I know. The contestants. Did you know that he was Pierre Hoquet? I'll read up on it later and post it in Discord. Fair enough. As long as it's not super spoily.
Please tell us about the other three contestants in the final round of your contest.
Let's see. Miss Delicious Desserts had a fantastic design. However, she broke the rules, so I could not recognize her as the winner. Up until the semifinals, Mr. Gustavia's flavors and design were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired. And there was something strange about his dessert in the semifinals.
Something strange.
Both Mr. Gustavia's and Mr. Dover's desserts had the exact same taste. They had different designs, but in terms of taste, it was like eating the same thing. What did they look like?
There should be a picture of them at my mansion.
Please allow me to show you later.
Certainly. Thank you very much.
That's what it was. His name can also be interpreted as Paul Hollick, which is where the grave thing comes from. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. And then there was Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures. Oh, they were absolutely heavenly.
Did you have a chance to taste his creations? If I recall correctly, his body was discovered in the middle of judging.
Yes, but I was not informed of this until after the judging had finished.
Since he was not present in the room, I helped myself to a piece of his edible lyre. It was fantastically delicious. I was so moved, I broke into song. Wait a moment, please. Did you say the lyre was delicious? Could you please give us a little more detail about that?
Because, as far as we know, that bitch should be salty.
Oh, you ate the lyre from the sculpture in Mr. Dover's room, correct? Yes, the one that was in the same glass case as the Gemini sculpture. Please have a look at this picture, Mr. Master. Did you eat from this lyre that's missing the strings? Yes, that lyre originally had strings. However, I ate them all, resulting in what you see in this picture. So the strings in the lyre were missing because he ate them. Actually, Felicia ate part of the same lyre that you did. However, she said it was so salty that she could not eat it.
Does this guy not taste salt because he's a fucking pastry chef? Is that what we're getting at here?
You don't say. That means there might be a problem with my sense of taste after all.
Oh wait, hold on. I just got a 6-star in Arknights. Please, Aya. Another Magellan dude. Why? Why is this game like this? I hate this.
Problem with your sense of taste. Oh, so.
There is a taste disorder called hypogusia? Hypogusia? In which you lose the ability to taste salt. No, it wasn't the old man, it's the fucking penguin bitch. No, it's not even like that. It's not like Grand Blue where it's like, oh, it makes sense for me to, you know, not get the thing that I want that's on rate up because the rate up is like really low. Because if I open up the appearance rate up, accounts for 50% of the odds of pulling a 6-star. Which is a 2% that you pull a 6-star. You know how many 6-stars I pulled on this banner? I pulled 2 Shorts, 2 Magallans, and I pulled 1 fucking Helliger. I pulled 5 6-stars, haven't gotten 1 fucking Aya. It just doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense to me. Somebody, please. I don't fucking get it anymore. Y'all talking Arknights? I was. Because I decided to use my, my Annihilation fucking Arundum that I'm getting for this week to pull, and, you know, I got fucked. I've been doing multis all over this banner. I can't get the rate up. I can't get a 50% chance. It's just not working. It's not even rate up as a lie. It's not like other games rate up. It's a 50% chance.
Perhaps I have contracted this illness. I just never realized it since I eat nothing but sweets. However, I know now with certainty. So that's why you couldn't tell what the food they served here tasted like.
No, for a pastry chef to lose their sense of taste is fatal.
Even if there is treatment for taste impairment, there isn't a cure for it yet. But it's probably best that you let the police know so you can receive a medical examination.
No, that won't be necessary.
There is a recipe in my mansion specifically for making the cure. A recipe for a drug that will cure your taste impairment. Yes, please look for it later when you return to the mansion.
Monsieur Master, but that means revealing the...
Kate, we should no longer conceal it from Mr. Gregory.
Yes, sir. I understand. If that is what you wish.
A recipe for a special drug. Just what are they hiding?
Well then, I must be returning to the mansion now, so I will take my leave.
Yes, we'll be heading back there later as well.
Kate. What is it, Monsieur Master?
You should not live for my sake. You should reconsider your lifestyle, so that you can live by yourself, even if I were no longer around.
Please do not say things like that. I simply cannot live without you, Monsieur Master. I promise to wait for you until you return. Excuse me. Kate.
Catherine.
Yeah, so that's all I needed to see. That confirms everything. Master Jeff, Kate was crying. Why did you say something so cruel? I'm worried about her. Catherine always puts me before herself. What do you mean? She collects Pierre Hoquet's works and makes sweets. All to make me happy, nothing more. That is the only reason she does anything. She always puts aside her own preferences and the things that she wants to do herself. I want Catherine to choose to live her own life. I do not want her to waste her valuable life because of me. Is that so? He thinks of Miss Hall as his own daughter, and he would want his children to choose their own path in life. And a parent would do anything to protect their own children. That feeling, I also know it well. Well, that should do it for the questions. We must return to the scene of the crime. Ah, it is already time to leave, I see. So, will my tribulations of questioning resume? We should take measures against their interrogations from our side as well. Also, more notes about the translation team going insane. The logo for Piece of Cake. That was, yeah, no, I figured as much. Because it was like, it was words. It wasn't like it was just a picture. Like, it was a proper logo with words to advertise the show. That one I figured as much. That one made sense to me that they did that. Can you ask the police about that? I can, but I have other ways in mind as well. When the time comes. Oh, you're a dependable man. I should be counting on you. Master Jeff, we'll come here every day with reports of our progress. And we'll bring Kate, too. Yes, thank you very much. I shall be looking forward to it. Mr. Master, know that the police will be attempting to get you to confess. I'm sorry to ask an innocent soul like yourself to bear these painful experiences. But please hold on for now. Hold on, I gotta post this fucking screenshot. If you confess, I'm positive that Von Karma will use that to his advantage, and that will make helping you all that much more difficult. I understand. I shall do my best. Jeff's name in Japanese is Isai Tenkai, and his nickname instead of Master Jeff was Tenkaichi. Okay. Right. If you believe in me until the bitter end, I will definitely get you out of here. Gregory Edgeworth would not get Jeff Master out of here. December 25th is Christmas! 11:30 a.m. Contest venue, Fountain Patio. Detective Barrett, thank you for helping us earlier. Yes, thank you. Thanks for what? There's no need to be shy about it. Enough about that. I suppose you intend to investigate today, too. Of course. We still need more information to prove Mr. Master's innocence. I'm sorry, but apart from this patio, you're not allowed to investigate anywhere else. What? So you're saying we can't investigate? I'm guessing this is Von Karma's doing. Yeah. Von Karma's a bit on edge at the moment. He still hasn't received the autopsy report. Moreover, the only ones in this mansion are Miss Hall and the police. So don't get your hopes up on speaking with the people connected to this case. Von Karma's being completely unreasonable. He's gone too far. That is so cool even before the incident. Yeah, he's pretty good. I promise I'd do anything I can to assist you. You have my thanks. We won't let any of Von Karma's dirty tricks get the best of us. Detective Bat, is it alright if we investigate the fountain patio? Yes, but we've already finished checking everything, except for the fountain.
That's fine. As long as there's still something, I shall continue investigating.
Contest venue, fountain patio, investigation start. So, what do you got for us? Let's push Bad out the way first. I did not mean to click him.
What?
Nothing. Which means he won't use his mirror. I wonder if it's even his mirror at all. Is he actually just reaching for his fucking pistol?
These angel statues look like they're eating chocolate fondue.
Oh, they kind of do. I get it. It makes sense.
It would seem these angel statues are also Pierre Hoquet's works. As expected, they're very well made. Looks just like the real thing. So, you've seen a real angel before, Detective Bear. Defense attorneys, always the first to find fault with everything. Huh. Perhaps that was wrong of me.
Alright. Y'all got anything?
What are you investigating exactly?
Sir, I'm testing the water in the fountain for foreign matter, sir.
Have you found anything?
It seems there's both chocolate and sherbet mixed in with the fountain water. It matches the chocolate from Jeff Masters' room and the sherbet that melted in Isaac Dover's room. They all share the same composition.
Fountain water circulates through the streams that flow from each of the 4 rooms. Perhaps the melted sherbet flowed into the fountain.
Also, someone's blood was detected as well.
What are you saying? How could there have been blood in the fountain? Detective Bad, please think back to our investigation of the crime scene.
Yeah, the piece of the fucking treasure chest was missing, rather, not mitting.
The bloodstain that
Yeah. I definitely didn't get any reports about a bloodstain. Yep. So it's gone. You never know if he could be using his pistol. Yeah, he very well could. It's just because he said that he was carrying around his, what's the word? He was carrying around the mirror to check behind him because he like learned to watch his back after he started getting fucking shot at. But there's no bullet holes in his coat, so probably not a mirror right now.
Also, part of the treasure chest was missing too. Perhaps the blood in the fountain belongs to this person.
Probably fucking Isaac Dover or Pierre Hoquet.
The victim. Let's run a comparison with the blood on the murder weapon.
Fuck.
It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Dover's. I wonder why the criminal spilled the victim's blood into the fountain.
Bartolo Colon still wants to pitch in the big leagues. Who the fuck? Victim's blood added to the court record. Okay. Alright, so blood was put into the fountain stream. You know, the big fat guy who pitches in is like 46. Yes, given by my astute assumption of, oh, that guy, I recognize the name. I know exactly who that big fat guy is.
Miss Hall, I've come to investigate today.
Ah, Monsieur Edgeworth. I apologize for my disgraceful behavior earlier. Kate, she still looks a bit down.
What Master said earlier must have been a real shock to her.
I prepared the photo I took of the desserts during the semifinals. Please, take a look. Okay, so we got Delicia in the back. We've got Isaac on the left, and I assume Gustavia's on the right. Monsieur Master also praised the design of Delicia's work very highly. Messieurs Gustavia and Dover's work gain high praise for both design and taste, but Monsieur Master said it felt like he was eating the exact same thing twice. But it seems the desserts had a completely different taste for the finals.
Was there anything else that was different between the finals and the semifinals?
It's nothing major, but there was something.
During the contest, Monsieur Gustavia's son always came to see him, but there was no sign of him at the finals.
His son came to visit. I wonder if there's any significance behind that.
Has to be. The Rockies and they're kind of blasé. Yeah, no, like the one thing I know about the Rockies is they have a player called Charlie Blackmon, and the only reason I know that is because I have a cup with his picture on it.
Would you mind leaving this photo with me?
Certainly. Anything to aid in the investigation.
Is that the cup you're sipping out of right now? Nope. Different cup. It's a bigger cup. This is my water cup, which is still decently sized, but not massive. Okay, so with this, we're looking at Gustavia and Dover were essentially making the same exact thing. So is it possible we didn't taste Gustavia's desserts, did we? We kind of just went in there and were like, yeah, we out. So we just looked around, but we didn't actually taste anything. Thoughts so far on the game's OST? I think it's really nice.
And here's the recipe book that contains the special drug for curing taste disorders.
The cover looks familiar.
Yep.
Wasn't this framed in Master's room?
Since it's also the prize for the contest, we put it out on...
I can't remember what Gustavia's fucking thing looked like. I don't remember what his design would look like. I remember the castle, I remember the pirate ship, and obviously the sculptures. I can't remember what Gustavia's was. All I remember is we went in there, Raymond said it was cold, but I don't remember what it was. I don't think we've seen Gustavia's. Shouldn't we have? Because we... No, because he was just in Master's room, right? So we need to go in and we need to get access to Gustavia's room.
And so the contest prize, Angel's recipe. It wasn't just a recipe for desserts? That's right. We've informed the participants, but it seems you all don't know yet.
So the participants knew about the true contents of the Angel's recipe.
Contains a recipe for the drug that will cure the taste disorder, hypogeusia. That's kind of weird.
Miss Hall, please tell me all you know about the Angel's recipe.
Angel's recipe.
So, the Angel's recipe contains the formula for the drug.
Yes, it's a recipe book for new drugs that haven't been released to the public yet. If sold to a pharmaceutical company, I'm sure it would fetch a substantial price.
Why is something like that a prize in the contest?
Monsieur Master is the only heir to chairman of the Master Group. Master Group? That name sounds familiar.
They're a pharmaceutical company who deal in a wide range of products.
They've become big news recently with the release of Cold Killer X. Neat. I often use the Cold Killer products.
But I've never once seen you with a cold.
Well, that means it's working, doesn't it?
I would like to hear more about the Master Group. Did Mr. Master not want to follow in his parents' footsteps?
Monsieur Master wanted to bring joy to people with his desserts. His parents also wanted him to become a great pastry chef and supported him. When his parents died, the recipe book was left to him as his inheritance.
Why would he give away a memento of his parents as a prize of the contest?
There were always people who were after it, something which troubled Monsieur Master. But just giving away the memento would have been disrespectful to his parents. So he decided to pass it over to someone who he acknowledged.
And the members of the Master Group approve of that? Information about new drugs being passed on to outsiders.
Of course they objected. That's why Delicia participated in the contest. On the order of the Master Group, she was requested to win the championship.
You knew Delicia's true identity from the start.
Yes, in order for her to win, I told her Monsieur Master's tastes and preferences.
Why did you help her?
I helped her in order to protect Monsieur Master and the Master Group. If the drug recipes were given to another company, he would be reprimanded by the board. I wanted to return the recipes to the company in a way that Monsieur Master would accept.
So it was due to Miss Hall's help that Felicia was able to reach the finals.
Speaking of which, Mr. Dover wasn't a pastry chef either. He sure did well to make it to the finals, considering he's just a sculptor. Yes, for him to be able to make such fine desserts despite being a sculptor.
From the sherbet sculptures he made for the finals, it's clear that he has great talent, but could he really have made that by himself?
That is all I know. Is there anything else I can do to help?
To save Mr. Master, she's trying to help as much as she can. May we perhaps have some more of that tea from yesterday, please, Miss Hall? I'm sure that would help us get on with the investigation.
Yeah, I'd like some of Kate's tea too. Right, understood. I'll be back in a minute. There she goes. Kate looks a bit better now.
That was a short investigation. Fair enough. We've gathered information about all the contestants. And yet we still haven't heard Gustavia's side of the story.
Yep. You were in cahoots with winning the contest, but okay. So now we have motive as well for Gustavia, right? This all makes sense, right? Gustavia kills him because they were working together, but he didn't want to work together anymore. Then he decides, okay, because I don't want to work together anymore, we're just going to kill you. And once Kate learns the truth, 18 years later, she decides to enact revenge and kill, or try to kill, Gustavia.
What exactly was he doing in Mr. Dover's room? And moreover, something is odd about his semi-final entry. A pastry chef bad at design, and a sculptor skilled only at designing. It would have been extremely difficult for either of them to win the contest alone. Could it be that Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's connection is... Detective Bat, we have a reason to suspect the actions of Dane Gustavia. Yeah. It is imperative that we find a way to contact him at once.
Oh, this conversation is most interesting. Oh. What's up?
However, I cannot allow you to speak with Mr. Gustavia. Von Karma. I have already conducted my interrogation of him. It is not necessary for him to speak any further, especially to a mere defense attorney. But I will answer your questions in that fool's place. It seems Von Karma intends to prevent me from meeting Gustavia in person. I understand. In that case, I have but one thing to ask you. Yes. I would like to know the relationship between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover.
Alright. Their connection. Gustavia and Dover's relationship. It's obvious the only relationship they had was that they happened to participate in the same contest. Okay. Never mind then. Thank you for the big help, Manfred.
There is nothing more to see.
What? How are we supposed to understand anything from so little?
If we want Von Karma to divulge the truth, we have no choice but to present evidence. It's all too obvious that he's hiding something.
Well, shit. I assume that we present the fucking, their two desserts together, right? Relationship? It's obvious the only relationship they had was they happened to participate in the same contest. Yes, but to that effect, they were presenting damn near the same shit.
Objection!
Prosecutor Von Karma, I'd like you to look at these desserts. These desserts were made for the contest semifinals. Don't you think these two have a particularly impressive design? Just what are you getting at? These two desserts were made by Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. I wouldn't exactly call Mr. Gustavia's design skills praiseworthy, and yet for the semifinals, he was able to produce something comparable to Mr. Dover's. Furthermore, these two desserts have the exact same flavor.
Objection!
What are you trying to say? I'm saying it's possible they collaborated with each other on their entries. Prosecutor Von Karma, please take a look at their desserts. At first glance, they may look completely different. But even though the designs are different, it's clear they were made from the same materials. Is that so? The same flavor and composition. It's impossible to dismiss their similarity as coincidence. The very existence of these two desserts points to a link between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. Since you already know this much, I'll tell you the truth. Did Von Karma know about their collaboration? However, what I'm about to say is not going to help your case at all.
Sadly, I must head to work. On the plus side, I'll start at 5 tomorrow, so I'll probably be able to catch the full stream. Pog. Take it easy, though, Ben. We'll see you later. Their real connection. If you want to know about Gustavia and Dover's connection so badly, I'll tell you. Last night, when I interrogated Gustavia, he told me about his connection with Dover. Until the day before the finals, they worked on their designs together. The day before the finals? Oh, well, fuck. Jesus Christ. I'm just here lurking, working on this Chris edit. Fair enough.
You knew about their cooperation all this time, didn't you? Why would you conceal the truth?
I would appreciate it if you didn't sully my reputation. Until I explain my points in court, I avoid giving away any unnecessary details. I was merely saving you time.
How can he act like this and keep the truth from us? His concealment of the truth is something I simply cannot ignore.
Rebuttal time. Yeah, no. You're being a real dickhead, by the way, Manfred Von Karma. But, not the contest rules. We need to find... There it is. Dover sherbet was most delicious, but the liar part was very salty.
Objection!
You say that Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover did not collaborate during the finals. That's strange. Delicia testified that Dover's sherbet was most delicious. Being a novice chef, I doubt he could have done all that by himself. Perhaps the two of them cooperated during the finals as well.
Defense attorney, how many times do I have to tell you? Delicia Scone's subjective opinion cannot be admitted as evidence. There is still a chance that a novice chef could make something tasty. My wife is an amateur, yet her cooking rivals that of world-class chefs.
How is that not a subjective opinion?
I don't know. Fucking Greg's smug sprite is great, but I don't know how I feel about it. It's good, no doubt, but yeah, I need to meet Manfred Von Karma's wife. That bitch bad.
Moreover, even if you take this pharmacist's testimony to be true, it changes nothing. She also mentioned that a part of his sherbet was very salty, which means you can hardly call his entry for the finals perfect.
I never thought about it before this game, but Gregory is a damn good defense attorney. Guess I just always assumed anyone who wasn't me or Phoenix and Co. was just bad. I mean, you had to assume that Greg was good because he brought up the fact that he was the first one to show cracks in Manfred Von Karma. He was the first one to show the world that, yeah, no, this guy fakes his evidence. And they believed him. And then he got killed. Which, you know, whatever. But he was the first one to leave a mark on Manfred Von Karma. So he was obviously good. It's not like he was bad. It's just he never got to fucking fully shine as hard as we want him to. Because he gets moited.
What? No more objections?
Because there's no way I can prove their collaboration.
Mr. Edgeworth, there's something that's been bugging me.
Huh, what is it?
The desserts Mr. Dover made for the finals would have taken a long time to make, right?
Indeed. They were frozen sculptures after all.
How would he have the time to sculpt it after it was frozen? Let alone help Mr. Gustavia with his design as well. The way I see it, just waiting for the sherbet to freeze would have used up all of his time. Huh. Just how was he able to make those sherbet sculptures?
Raymond, you may have a promising future after all. Thanks to you, I've noticed one more possibility.
Yeah, and that is?
That's right, Mr. Dover's sherbet needed time to freeze. In the context, time limit would not have been enough. The method Mr. Dover used to make his sherbet within the time limit was...
It was prepped.
If the sherbet was prepared in advance, all he needed to do was sculpt it.
You, just what are you mumbling about?
Can that kill you eating paper, I mean? I assume if you don't have a strong enough digestive system, it will, but...
Please excuse me, I finally realized. Your earlier view was correct.
Uh-huh. Mr. Edgeworth.
What are you doing? Oh, so you're finally admitting defeat.
No, all I'm admitting to is the truth of one of your statements. Dover and Gustavia's collaboration lasted until the day before the finals. It is exactly as you said. They only cooperated until the day before the finals. The sculptures in Mr. Dover's room were all made out of sherbet. Such an amount would most likely need to be left overnight to freeze, which means Mr. Gustavia prepared Mr. Dover's sherbet in advance the day before.
That's right. So you realize Gustavia's cooperation ended the day before the finals.
Then why did Mr. Dover not help Mr. Gustavia in return?
Views of the dead are no concern to me.
If you aren't going to answer that, I'll need to get in touch with Mr. Gustavia himself. Or was your interrogation not quite as thorough as you claim?
You ingrate. You dare mock me.
That was not my intention, but I do have a problem with your attitude. I want you to give us a clear reason why we can't speak to Mr. Gustavia in person.
A clear reason. Gustavia and Dover's collaboration has no bearing on this case.
You claim their collaboration is irrelevant. If Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's relationship had turned sour, it could serve as motive for murder.
You're saying that Gustavia and Dover's collaboration was linked to the motive for murder. If that were the case, why did he not conceal it? After all, we found out about this collaboration from Gustavia himself. If you really are a lawyer, show us evidence that gives us the reason to suspect Gustavia.
Only one of Gustavia's actions has been suspicious so far. Doubtless Von Karma already knows of this fact. This could be a trap by Von Karma.
What's wrong, defense attorney? Not going to answer.
I mustn't back down now. Mr. Gustavia sneaked into Mr. Dover's room. His reasons for doing this are currently unclear. But the very fact he secretly entered the room is reason enough to suspect him.
If that's the extent of it, I can dispel those doubts.
I knew it. It was a trap after all.
I was intending to save this for the courtroom, but I'll make a special exception. We wouldn't want to prolong the trial with unnecessary information, would we? Take a look at this photograph.
Uh-oh. They got their sons.
This
is a photo of Gustavia and Dover, and their sons.
Yep. Gustavia's son always came to visit up until the finals. So that is going to play into a part.
Gustavia entered Dover's room in order to steal this photo.
To steal the photo?
It seems their sons attended the same elementary school. Apparently, he thought that he'd be suspected if people found out he and Dover were acquainted. Yes, just like you're doing now.
Walked right into it a little bit.
If there was nothing suspicious about Gustavia's actions, no further room for argument.
I don't believe that.
He's still adamant on not letting us meet with Mr. Gustavia.
I have an investigation to return to. I have no more time to waste on the likes of you.
There he goes. Curse that Von Karma, calling us a waste of time. What should we do, Mr. Edgeworth? At this rate, Master Jeff will be...
Von Karma is busy. Of course. Why would he be so busy? Both the body and the murder weapon have been found, and he already has a suspect. The police should have...
Big yawn.
The police should have more than enough evidence to prove Mr. Masters' guilt. If that's the case, then why is Von Karma still investigating the crime?
Mr. Edgeworth, is there something wrong?
It seems I've been overlooking a matter of vital importance. Considering that he already has the evidence he needs to convict Mr. Master, I feel that Von Karma isn't as composed as he should be. He didn't even tell Detective Bad the full results of the investigation.
Yeah, he's hiding information. Yeah, I can't believe that Gregory Edgeworth figured it out like this and then gets murdered. He doesn't even flinch when Ray does that. I'm still going to flinch. No autopsy report? Are we about to go directly into logic?
Furthermore, something vanished from the crime scene, and we still don't know why.
Blood.
The sweet blood.
Oh, how it sings to me. Yeah, no. I think we're definitely about to get kicked into logic mode to try to figure it out.
But the strangest thing we found wasn't in Mr. Master's room at all.
Blood in the fountain. Yep. Alright, so blood in the water fountain.
Mr. Dover's blood vanished from Mr. Master's room, and somehow found its way into the fountain. What does this mean?
Yeah. Blood in the water, blood on the leaves.
Although the victim's body wasn't found in Mr. Master's room, it was detected in the water fountain. There would be no need for the killer to conceal the bloodstains after the body was found. It's natural that only the bloodstains were found with the body found with the body disappeared. Okay, there we go. Unless the body was moved, the blood would still have remained on the chocolate. Don't tell me. Someone removed the body and then erased the bloodstains.
Well, no autopsy report, no body. So did he just fucking take off? Is it not a murder at all?
It's possible that the body was removed from the crime scene, and the autopsy report still has not arrived. Although we have a murder weapon and a suspect, we don't know much about the body. I've been investigating under the assumption that the body had been discovered. Perhaps this assumption was wrong from the very beginning. Why didn't Von Karma give Detective Bad the autopsy report? To understand that, yes, I must turn my logic around. My thinking shouldn't be, why is Von Karma hiding information about the body? But rather, what if Von Karma doesn't even have the information to begin with? What happens if I think of it like that? It's possible that the body wasn't removed by the police for the autopsy. It was moved and hidden by the real killer.
Mr. Edgeworth?
I've heard many dark rumors surrounding Von Karma. He's a prosecutor who forges evidence, fabricates testimonies, and beats his wife.
Yeah, I've heard that too. But what does that have to do with anything?
I try to avoid judging others based on rumors, and I didn't let those rumors influence my opinion on Von Karma until today. It seems he's a man who would distort the truth.
Distort the truth? You don't mean forgery?
I do. And I can't allow him to get away with this.
must return to the prosecutor's office for now. Not a word to that attorney.
Roger. So that's what I had backwards. His hold it is not as good as his take that or his objection. I had him mixed up because I was like listening to his take that I was like, yeah, it's still pretty good. I don't know why was I thinking that. It's his hold it that isn't as good as his take that or his objection.
What do you want, defense attorney? I want to know the truth that you've been hiding. Fool. Are you trying to mislead the police's investigation again? If you interfere with the investigation anymore, I'll be forced to reprimand you myself.
Objection!
Police? No, my objection is with you. What? Isn't it a prosecutor's job to ensure justice for criminals? What are you saying? I have no time to debate the job of a prosecutor with you. However, I will tell you one thing. My job is to ensure all those I prosecute are found guilty. For the perfect proof, there can be no room for doubt.
Objection!
And to find that perfect proof, you would even stoop to forgery? I was wondering what you were going on about. You intend to accuse me of forgery, do you? Yes. And it's for that reason. You did not allow Detective Bad to investigate.
What do you mean?
The real reason Detective Bad wasn't investigating was not so he could keep an eye on us. It was to hide the fact that you never found the body.
What?
They never found the body?
You cretins, you will cease these ludicrous accusations. I will not tolerate any further insults.
In that case, let us verify the body. If you do, we will have evidence that shows whether I am right or not.
I just noticed the nervous sprite Von Karma doesn't grab his shoulder like in the first game. Yeah. Why would he? There's no bullet in there. He doesn't have the reminder. That special meter's at 99%. Yeah, the gun is about to come out.
The burden of proof falls on you, defense attorney. I have no reason to comply with your baseless conjecture.
You must have noticed it too, the lack of blood stains at the crime scene. So why did the blood vanish? And more importantly, where did it go?
Foolishness. Why would anyone have just erased the blood in the chest that contained the body?
Yes, that's exactly right. If the body had been found there, the disappearing bloodstains would have no meaning at all. However, what if the body was already gone?
I like that they thought to change it. Yeah, it's a really nice touch.
To erase the traces of the body being there, one would have to get rid of the bloodstains as well.
Why make such a fuss over these bloodstains? It seems like a trivial detail to me. Or are you saying that you can show me where those bloodstains went?
In court, everything must be said with evidence.
Evidence is everything, but you can expand on it, I guess.
Isn't that right, Von Karma? In that case, I'll show you the evidence supporting my claim.
This piece of evidence shows where the blood in Mr. Master's room went. The blood that was in the fountain? Question mark. Do we not have it? I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah. Found in the fountain water. Here we go. I thought it was going to be a picture of the fountain.
There were traces of the victim's blood found in the fountain. And traces of Mr. Master's chocolate were also found in this very fountain. In other words, the blood washed down the stream, which was flowed into the fountain. All of this points to only one possibility. After the body was removed, someone erased the bloodstains. Von Karma, where was the body really found? If you really found the body, you should be able to answer.
How do you know this information? How do you know the results of the water composition tested on the fountain? Because I allowed them to investigate. Bad. All we always a thorn in my side. From here on out, I will not allow you to associate any further with this case. It's not like you were letting me do much anyway.
Von Karma, you still haven't answered my question. Or are you admitting to the fact that you didn't find the body after all?
You say I never found the body. Where is your evidence?
He's never going to confess.
I have nothing further to say to you, Gregory Edgeworth. This matter will be decided in court. We'll see just how well your logic holds up there.
Von Karma, I know your methods are wrong. I promise, without fail, I will expose the truth you've hid.
Kinda. There he goes.
Detective Bad, I'm sorry. It's because you let me investigate it.
No, this is bound to happen, sooner or later. This is also the first time I've been restricted in my investigation. Your theory that they never found the body sounds pretty close to the mark.
That I will make clear in court.
If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Even though I'm no longer in charge of this case.
Then, though I'm very sorry about this, I have one more favor to ask of you.
Hey, what are you guys whispering about? I want to know too.
This will be my trump card in court. The information I've gathered up until now should be enough to prove Mr. Master's innocence. But if all else fails, I'll have this ready.
Your trump card?
You'll see at the trial.
Wow, I get to be at the trial too?
Of course, you are my assistant after all.
I'll be an ace attorney too next year. Von Karma will never be the two of us. Von Karma would then later go on to beat the two of them.
Right. Although I hope to clear Mr. Master's name before he become a lawyer. If Von Karma is to be my opponent, you'll want the trial ended in a day.
That's right. We'll have to save Master Jeff as fast as we can. After all, this is you we're talking about. I'm sure you'll beat Von Karma.
Jeff Master, alone in a dark cell, arrested on false charges. I must expose Von Karma's lies if I am to save him.
Fade to gray. To be continued. Are we actually going to go to court? Do we actually get to go to the courtroom? Yeah, what could go wrong? What's he going to do? Shoot us if we win? Oh, we're back in the present. April 2nd, 2:10 p.m., Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio.
And that's all Uncle Ray knows about the IS-7 incident. So that's what happened to my father's last case. The truth of the IS-7 incident.
What happened at the trial?
In the end, Von Karma defeated us.
So you couldn't prove Mr. Master's innocence?
We had gathered plenty of evidence to prove it. But Von Karma was even more despicable than we thought. He was a prosecutor who would do anything for his guilty verdict.
That's right. He really did use any means necessary. Because of this, the trial dragged on for about a year. What the fuck? How? How did it drag on for a year? Was this before they had the fucking 3 days in your out system?
I'll never forget that fateful day when the judgment was passed down, the 28th of December. It's April now, so it's been a little over 17 years. How time flies.
I mentioned that earlier, I think.
The 28th of December, 17 years ago. I was watching from the gallery that day.
Before the trial, your old man noticed that Mr. Master was acting strangely. He was at the breaking point, both mentally and physically. He wanted to be found guilty. No, Mr. Master didn't fake a confession, did he?
Yeah, that was what Von Karma was aiming for from the start.
When your old man
man tried to expose the fact that the body had not been found. Von Karma used the power of his police cronies to quash that argument. He even went as far as to prepare a fake autopsy report.
So what I said offhand earlier actually was right.
Then they made Mr. Master give a false testimony and confess to being an accomplice. With Mr. Master's confession, the situation quickly became dire. But your old man had a trump card up his sleeve. Was that trump card what he was talking to Detective Bad about? Yeah, that trump card was to be our insurance, in case Mr. Master confessed. He'd asked Detective Bad to have Mr. Master interrogation recorded. Detective Bad wanted to know the truth too, huh? After he was dropped from the investigation, he never stopped caring about the case. Even when he was involved with the other large cases, he really was the definition of a true detective.
Where is Ace Attorney Investigations Tyrell Bad?
The defense presented the recording, which proved the confession was forced. Well, it seemed the detective in charge of the initial investigation and interrogation, Rip Lacer.
Rip Lacer? I get it. It's funny. Laugh like Replacer. What's the joke, Chris? You just said his name again. Ha 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 ha.
Still, at the trial, your old man exposed Von Karma's corruption, and Von Karma received his first penalty from then Chief Prosecutor. The only penalty in his 40 years of prosecution. However, Mr. Master didn't want the trial to continue any longer, and the curtains closed on the trial that day with the verdict of guilty.
Yeah, how does that fucking happen? That do not make sense. That's not even how the whole series started. That's how Edgeworth became Edgeworth. Because if you want to follow the logic, Phoenix would have still become a defense attorney with or without this happening. Phoenix Wright would have went to college, and Dahlia Hawthorne would have tried to set him up. So, this is the whole story of how Miles Edgeworth comes into play, but it's not Phoenix. Misty Faye would have been ruined. Yeah, but at the same time, it's not like it. Like the story changes a little bit, but Misty Faye would have been like if you remove this incident, right? Mia, I guess you could say Mia probably wouldn't have like tried so hard to become a defense attorney. But like there's you still have Phoenix Wright becoming a defense attorney. Phoenix Wright still would have happened. Phoenix Wright still would have been a fucking defense attorney, but it would have happened a little bit differently, is my point. Like, nothing directly stops Phoenix from becoming Phoenix. Like, Maya wouldn't have been there. Phoenix Wright would have been there, is my point. Phoenix Wright would have been there. Apollo Justice would have been there. Athena Sykes would have been there.
And the curtain closed on the trial that day with a verdict of guilty. My memory of that time is fuzzy, but I was also there watching my father's final trial. And I think his final regret became my own. Your old man wanted a retrial to prove Master's innocence, but he passed on before he could fulfill his wish. After getting entangled in another case. What? Yeah, DL6 niggas. Breaks my heart even now. But I didn't return home with him that day. And what's more, to blind myself from my own worthlessness. Uncle Ray put all of his hatred on you, as a traitor for being Von Karma's pupil. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's natural you would hate me. After I became a prosecutor, I was able to get Von Karma to show me the case file. Mr. Master was found guilty for the murder of Isaac Dover. That's not right. Wasn't Mr. Master found guilty of being an accomplice? What this case file says, guilty of murder.
There shouldn't be anything unresolved in the cases handled by Manfred von Karma.
Wait, can I take a look at that file? It looks like the charges have been rewritten. Was Edgeworth just carrying this on his person? Unbeknownst to Manfred, a blue suit wearing turnabout terror was out to blow him the fuck back. Yep. Him and that blue suited terror and his own fucking prodigy, his own fucking student. You're trying to pin murder on me? Say less.
Look at this.
Jeffrey Master, 39, created a dessert contest. The victim's body was found inside the dessert and made by the suspect. This led to his arrest. In jail, he was diagnosed with hypogeusia and was treated. He was treated by medicine. After his own confession, he was convicted as an accomplice to the murder.
This is a copy of the original case file I received from the courts. Why would the charge be altered? This file was given to you by Von Karma, right?
Maybe he just didn't want you to know the truth, since you're Gregory's son. He would have wanted to avoid him in the retrial before the statute of limitations ran out, after all.
So what I had come to believe back then had all been a lie. If you didn't know about it, just make sure you know from now on.
Damn. That's really, like, come on, man. What was he gonna do? Like, break him down? And ask, like, yo, what were you doing? Why does it say guilty, but this one says not guilty? Like, you can't.
The statute of limitations is long expired, but the truth still sleeps, right here.
After your old man passed away, Uncle Ray took over as Mr. Master's defense attorney. Although Von Karma had also had another prosecutor take over the case. Who? Perhaps he thought that since his opponent was a rookie, he didn't even need to turn up. In the end, the real killer was never found, and Mr. Master was found guilty. No! Is there nothing we can do even now? Since the killer was never found, he can't withdraw his confession. I found out after the trial that Mr. Master made a deal with Von Karma because Von Karma had threatened him. If you don't confess, Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges. That's terrible! I don't think Mr. Master really thought that Kate was the killer, but to protect her, he faked a confession. What's going on, Kolkek?
Miles, on the day that Knightley Boy was killed, why do you think Uncle Ray was at the prison?
Ah, I see.
You went to see Mr. Master, didn't you?
I said I'd visit him every day. I couldn't keep that promise, but... Yeah, nah. Ray is wearing Greg's hat. That was one thing I noticed when we first saw fucking Greg on screen. Through rain or snow she went, every single day without fail. But nothing has changed, and Mr. Master still serves his punishment. That's so sad. Alexa played Despacito. Isn't there anything we can do? That's why I came here. Because I knew those ice sculptures would be on display here today. So, what are you going to do, Miles?
I am a prosecutor. My position is different from yours. Different from you and my father.
Miles?
But moving past my position, what I want is Miles Edgeworth is to know the truth of these two cases. It is for that reason that I am here.
You really are your father's son. Well then, if that's what you decided, I'll support you all the way. I better leave the IS-7 documents and evidence with you then. Alright, here are the documents. By the way, the parts in orange are Uncle Ray's old notes. Alright, IS-7 incident file.
Thank you.
And now, here's the IS-7 evidence. Where are we getting all of it? There's a lot, so make sure to look it over while you investigate. Received a lot of IS-7 evidence from Mr. Shields.
Sure. Right. I'll check through it later.
Or now. Now is a good time to check. Okay, so this is all of our evidence from the current poisoning thing. Is this photo as well? Yeah, Winter Palace photo. That's not the, it's not the photo from the, Isaac Dover contest room. There we go. Oh. We didn't get shit for nothing. We got the Angel recipe book,
We got the fingerprints, or the finger marks, excuse me, the rock salt lamp, and the family photo. Fair enough.
Anyway, there are so many strange things about this case.
Indeed. Those involved in the case 18 years ago have reunited, and another incident occurs. Replicas of the statues used 18 years ago were displayed in the Winter Palace, and poison gas was released inside the Autumn Palace, which has been disguised as the Winter Palace. The two chemicals in the Pisces case, normalium and fatalium, were mixed, causing an outbreak of poison gas.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ.
The victim of the poison gas was Dane Gustavia, a person involved with the IS-7 incident. Because he was unconscious, he received treatment in the Zodiac Art Gallery's infirmary. Finally, the dead body found floating in the fountain.
It's Pierre okay.
And once again, the ice sculptures have melted. There are deep connections between the two cases. It's possible that there are still some clues left from 18 years ago.
Right, let's get started.
Move! Just 1 second. Don't tell me you've forgotten about me.
Didn't I tell you that I'm the one in charge of this case? Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you intend to continue disrupting Sebastian's investigation, the word guilty will be added to your PIC report.
What does she mean, guilty? Please allow me to assist in your investigation as before.
I appreciate your proposal, but I'm afraid I must overrule it.
That was fast.
Even though we're short on hands to identify the victim right now, it is only a matter of time until we figure it out.
In that case, I shall take that load off your shoulders at once. Regarding the identity of the unidentified body, one person comes to mind.
Really? Then tell us. All I'm saying is I need to throw some damn coffee on Sebastian. I mean, yeah, would help.
Very well. It's not just the sculptures that have made a comeback from the incident 18 years ago. The body in the fountain is...
Well, I mean, is he? Yep, there he is. Whew! Let's go ahead and hit it.
It's likely that the identity of the body of the victim is the victim of the murder that occurred here 18 years ago. Isaac Dover.
Eh? It's Icy's body? Hey, who's that? I've never heard of him.
Mr. Isaac Dover, a truly great sculptor, but he was better known as Pierre Hoquet. The sculptures on display here in the museum are all his creations.
And so, in other words, that sculpture was the best. Somehow, I feel a strong kinship to him.
And he was the victim in the IS-7 incident.
She knew about the IS-7 incident.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident occurred 18 years ago. And what's more, the police reported the removal of the body.
That's what's on the record, but I wonder if that's really the truth. Sebastian was apparently by far the most popular character introduced in Investigations 2 with the female staff. I mean, bitches don't like Greg Edgeworth? That's Cap. Wait, female staff at Capcom? Hold on. Cap in the title of that company. I expect nothing less.
What are you saying?
The defense attorney in the IS-7 incident claimed that the body was never found. Not that the prosecution would ever admit to such a thing. Who's calling? Who's calling Sebastian?
Hello?
Really?
Is something wrong, Sebastian?
No, it's just they said they know who the victim is. Say it. Say his name. It's just as that prosecutor says. It's Dover.
No, it can't be.
It would seem my father's suspicions were correct. What is it, Judge Courtney? Have you finally realized that I'm much more helpful than Mr. DeBest?
The females must be more horny than me. It's just that it's got to be the Fujo crowd, right? Like, Jesus Christ.
Sebastian shares some similarities with Ramses and Von Karma. Both were prosecutors constantly chasing after their father's approval, had obsessions with being the best, had to deal with the shock of finding out their fathers were criminals. Additionally, in both cases, it was the positive influence of Miles Edgeworth that set them on a better path. I mean, kinda, technically. What's going on, Power? Dom shouting motes, Pog. Are you trying to steal the best position for yourself? But yeah, no, I don't know about. That's kind of a spoiler. I mean, I don't really see the spoiler in that. Oh wait, no. Shock of finding out their fathers were criminals. Wait a minute. So who is Gallus? Buddy? Dog, I read it the first time and I was like, yeah, seeking their father's approval. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Obsession with being the best and had to deal with the shot. Oh. So, whenever we see Sebastian's pops, we'll know. Well, let's keep it going.
I'm doing no such thing. I just want to know the truth. And for that to happen, we need to cooperate, no?
The truth is none of your concern.
Objection.
I don't think that's true, Courtney Pie. You again. Uncle Ray assisted the defense attorney involved in the IS-7 incident. The one who claimed that Mr. Dover's body was never found. The prosecution denied it at the time, but now the body's been discovered here. In other words, the IS-7 investigation was unjust. And isn't it the duty of the PIC to investigate corrupt prosecutors? Then wouldn't you want to cooperate with those who were involved with the case? Unless you have an ulterior motive.
And now that I think about it, Judge Courtney knew about the IS-7 incident.
Because, like, obviously, like, if you think about that sentence, like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, his father could have robbed, like, a convenience store, right? Obviously, that's not going to be the case, but when we see him, we'll know.
So it would seem that she really is here because of the PIC.
Even if you're related to the incident, I don't see how Prosecutor Edgeworth is.
He's the son of the attorney in that case, and a prosecutor taught by Von Karma himself. And what's more, he was in the audience at the IS-7 trial. I'm sure there are many points he can enlighten us on.
Very well. I will allow you to cooperate. However, your investigation must not hinder the other investigators. The Winter Palace is currently being investigated, but the fountain patio is open to you.
That's my Courtney Pie. Now we're talking. As thanks, I'll allow you to have a hug with Uncle Ray.
Overruled. If I feel your cooperation isn't needed, I will have to ask you to leave.
Understood.
I might just watch Chris play the rest of the game so I'm good. Hey man, Arknights is fun, right? Except when they just keep fucking you on right up. I've never seen a game be so blatant lying with 50%. Isn't that great, Miles? Now we can start investigating.
You really helped us there.
Heh, Uncle Ray did it all for himself. Alright, Uncle Ray's gonna investigate too. So let me know if you figure something out.
Got it.
Where's he going? Where's he going? Brother, where are you going?
Right then, Kay, let's begin the investigation.
Okay, let's do this.
We still don't know where Mr. Dover's body and the Normalium were hidden.
We don't have enough information to go on.
You're right, our first priority is the Normalium.
Well, Normalium is used in washing detergent, paints, and the like.
If I recall, it's a red liquid with a minty aroma.
Alright. That spoiler I saw yesterday now makes sense. You saw. Why are y'all going and looking at spoilers? What's good with y'all? What the fuck? Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio, investigation. Alright, what do we got? Nothing over here. Do you have anything for us? Is there anything that's... We've recovered the victim's body. Forensics are currently performing the autopsy.
And what of the investigation of the fountain?
The fountain is completely clear. The one I accidentally saw? Damn. You hate to see it.
You could cleanse both your heart and soul with it. A body was floating in this fountain just a moment ago.
Yeah, I'm not cleaning myself with fucking... Oh, let's go ahead and look at the teapot. I'm not cleaning myself with corpse water.
On this service card, Miss Hall has prepared her tea set.
According to the pamphlet, the museum is also famous for its tea.
Yes, it certainly had a flavorful, rich taste.
It seems this tea set was also made by Mr. Dover.
Oh, so this tea set was made by the victim. Let's take a closer look.
Yep.
So, this tea set was made by Isaac Dover.
Fancy stuff, huh?
Kay, I'd say this tea set is worth thousands of dollars. Please be careful with it.
This tea set is such a treasure.
Please don't look so excited. If I recall correctly, Miss Hall was a huge fan of Mr. Dover.
Teapot data jotted down in the organizer. Wouldn't this have just made sense for it to be added to the court record from the IS-7 evidence? Because that was part of the old court record as well. That was part of Greg's court record. Why are we adding it to me now? That don't make no daggum sense. Am I going crazy? Does that make sense? Hey, Edgy!
What is it?
Be careful with that teapot.
Why must I be warned by him of all people?
Madame and Messieurs, would you care for some tea?
Miss Hall.
Katie. No, I'm fine, thanks. Kay and Edgy, you guys can have some.
Well, since you asked, we might as well take a short break.
Certainly. Thanks for the tea. You ever told me if that new edit I made fix his head size or not? Let me look at it again, because I saw it and I was like, I'm getting out of here. I don't want to look at Larry Momota, Luminary of the Stars. Also, why did Mr. Starsman just post a picture of Von Karma in here? What a freak. The head is still just big. Like, I think it's just Larry has a big head. I think that's it. I think that's the unfortunate truth. Why did... Starsman, I just want to know why you posted this fucking picture of Von Karma. Responding to what Gallus said? Oh. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't take that as a response picture. That's just menacing. Jesus. It's so tasty. What kind of tea is this, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's Ceylon tea, known for its citrus aroma. However, Miss Hall, is this the same tea you served us this morning?
Yes, that's right. Was it not to your liking?
No, it's not that. The tea we had this morning had a slightly different aroma.
What was different? How strange. Is it the same? It is the same Ceylon tea I served this morning. There shouldn't be anything different about it. What's wrong with you, Edgy? Quit nitpicking about the tea Katie so kindly prepared for you.
Larry, what are you getting so upset about?
I'm not upset. You're just being a rude jerk. And I told you to call me Maurice. Sheesh, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
It's like arguing with a child.
Maurice, I wonder what's wrong.
I'd like to ask him that later myself. And I also need to speak with Miss Hall. I don't have any evidence that shows she's the culprit, but I dare say she is the one who set up the poison gas trap.
Alright. Is that it for this fucking cart? Seems about right, but... No, let's look at this fucking... spilled tea.
They smell in color. Don't tell me this is a puddle of tea.
Huh? There's a piece of pottery in the middle of the puddle. Found a puddle of tea. The design looks familiar. We got fingerprints, or no? I wonder what broke.
I think I recognize the design.
Yes.
I should probably show this to that man and see what he has to say.
Alright. So, where... Wasn't Larry just over here? Where'd he go? Why are you over here now, bud? About to pull a Chris and go shit. In the words of Young Thug, I'm about to go and shit and take a piss. You two, stop glaring at each other like that. I'm not glaring, Kay. I'm using my artist perspective. Edgy's the one who's glaring.
Then, if you know what's good for you, you will tell me what you're hiding right now.
No way, dude. Didn't I say that I'm not talking to you anymore?
Aren't you talking to me right now?
From now on, I'm definitely not talking to you anymore.
I'm not going to get anywhere like this. Looks like I'll have to force it out of you.
Alright. So, you breaking teapots, Larry? Old and new, let's see this. Yeah, the head is, like, slightly smaller. The only... Like, the big problem is, it's just Larry has just a big-ass head. If you click between them, it looks like a Captain Underpants comic. If you click between them, it looks like he's a fucking Rock'em Sock'em robot and you're just punching his head. I'm way too entertained by that. But yeah.
Larry, take a look at this.
What's that?
Larry, I've got a feeling that what you're hiding is related to the tea in this pottery shard. Well, if you're not going to talk to me, I can always hand the shard over to Judge Courtney.
Wait, I'm trying to keep a clean image for Justy. I don't want her to see how I've dirtied myself.
I can't imagine what part of you can be considered clean, but... If you don't want her to declare you guilty, I suggest you speak truthfully now.
I got it. I'll tell you. What are you hiding, boy?
Larry, it's time you confess to what you've done.
How can you be so cruel to your best friend?
The same way you can be so dishonest to your best friend.
Well, you can stop glaring at me. I promise to tell the truth this time for sure. I just thought I'd pour Justy some tea. But my hand kind of slipped a bit, and it broke. I accidentally broke the crazy expensive teapot.
Well, the butt strikes again. Why am I not surprised?
Oh boy, you've really done it this time, Larice. What should I do, Edgy? Katie, wait me.
Crying to me about it won't solve anything. First, you should apologize to Miss Hall.
I believe in female supremacy.
Is that so? My teapot was...
Katie, I'm so sorry. I don't have any money, but I'll draw as many portraits of you as you like.
Please kindly raise your head, Monsieur. It is I who should apologize. I didn't notice the broken shards. It's dangerous, so I'll tidy up the broken pieces. Allow me to take this piece from you as well.
Wasn't this tea set one of Isaac Dover's works? I heard that it was very important to you.
Yes. But there's no use crying over spilled tea. Besides, I still have another one of those teapots left.
Is she not as attached to Dover's works as she used to be?
Katie, you're so kind. Oh, the other teapot you were talking about, is it the one on the cart?
Yes.
Truth is, when I was trying to hide the broken shards, I looked under that cart, and I found a teapot that looked exactly the same, so I switched them.
Larry, what the fuck?
Really? Yeah, everything's cool now.
I took great care to make sure no one would break that bottle. You don't brag about that when you were the one who broke it in the first place.
I'm sorry.
I don't mind. Thank you for your consideration.
Edgy, Katie is a really nice lady, isn't she?
You should reflect on how you cause trouble for people like her.
Okay, when I make it big as an artist, I'll donate paintings. In fact, I'll even welcome you as my own personal model.
I think it'd be better if you just stopped causing trouble. I hope you haven't done anything else.
I haven't. I just stood around sketching beauties.
Sketching beauties.
If you're interested, I can let you take a peek. I guess even Mr. Edgeworth is interested in beauties.
It's not like that. I just thought it might be another one of his strange paintings.
How dare you! I'm very confident in my work this time.
Ooh, I want to see too.
Oh, I'm glad you're so honest about it, Kate. I'll get it ready, so come check it out later.
I guess I'll have him show it to me later.
Alright.
Ugh. So let's go. What else can we look at? Who else can we talk to? I assume these dickheads don't want to talk to us. And we can't go into any of the rooms. Or can we?
There's a vase of tulips in front of this door.
Probably because this is the Spring Palace.
You know, speaking of spring, it's moving season. People who have just moved always let their guard down.
So it's always thieving season. Robin season.
As a great thief, don't you think burglary is a little beneath you?
You're right. Okay, please. Well, do I have anything? I guess I could talk to...
Miss Hall, where have you been until now?
I guess I could talk to Kate, but...
I was showing the remaining guests out and handing out complimentary gifts as an apology.
Larry Butts is the physical embodiment of graphic design is my passion. Yeah.
Did you require my services?
Yes, there are a few things I want to ask you about. If my suspicions are correct, she's the one who set up the poison gas trap.
Alright, poison gas trap.
How exactly did you prepare the melted sculptures from 18 years ago?
My, so you know about what happened 18 years ago. It's because 18 years ago I photographed Monsieur Dover's sculptures. Using the photos as a base, I managed to create replicas.
Replicas.
The Zodiac sculptures had been an unfinished work, so I wanted to complete it somehow. Because I am the one who accidentally melted Monsieur Dover's sculptures 18 years ago?
Oh no. And could you tell me why the Autumn Palace resembles the Winter Palace so much?
Well, my apologies. Did they really look so alike? I think I may have gotten some of the decorations mixed up.
She's obviously lying, but I haven't gathered any evidence to prove that yet.
Alright. Larry, do you have literally anything? Will this just be come back later?
About that sketch you mentioned just now.
What? If you wanted to see my art, you should have been honest about it from the start. Look, here it is. Not bad, Larry.
What is this?
I told you! It's a sketch of beauties. But just to be clear, the beauties only refer to Justy and Katie. Damn. Larry, no fat chicks' butts. That other plump lady has nothing to do with that.
Then why did you draw her on the same page?
Well, I was taking a break from my still life painting when the beauties caught my eye. I guess I just drew them on the page without thinking.
So you're saying that the pictures on this page were each drawn separately?
Huh? Oh yeah, I may have drawn them at different times. By the way, there's a drawing of the beautiful little Miss K on another page.
Wow, beautiful, huh? Thanks.
Larry, you drew this exactly as you saw it, correct?
Well, yeah, even I can't draw what I can't see. I recreated the scene perfectly, even the delicate shades.
Delicate shades, huh? I don't want to admit it, but this picture might be of help to the investigation.
The contents of this sketch and the service cart in the fountain patio.
Yeah, she's got chocolates on top of that one. Got 'em. GG's.
It seems there is a contradiction between the two. I'll need to expose this contradiction using my powers of deduction. Could I borrow this sketch for a while?
Sure, I could even sign it for you if you like.
I think I'll pass.
Edgeworth does not want anything signed by Larry Butts. This much is true. Stay away from me. Alright. What's up, Sosa? Pearl's her sister Bikini probably taught him how to draw better. I assume he just knew how to draw. We've got deduction.
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold?
Eureka! Got him.
Larry, there's something I want to ask you about your sketch.
Huh? You want to lecture on sketching from the famed Professor Larice, do you?
No, I just need to ask you something. The tablecloth in your sketch, are you sure it was light blue?
Yeah, my eyes never fail me.
But the one on the service cart here is white, isn't it?
I could not even tell that, but alright. Dude, you're always so busy thinking with just your head that you miss the obvious. How about you just shut up and tell me what you saw?
What's with that look on your face?
When I drew that painting, by the way, I was using the cart with a tea set on it, remember? Because I was tidying up the broken pottery shards. That's not something to be proud of.
Oh, well, that's not something to be proud of.
And right then, Katie came out of the Winter Palace. I had to hurry and hide the broken teapot so that she wouldn't notice it. She pushing, yeah, another cart.
Did you just say Miss Hall came out of the Winter Palace?
That's right, but this time, she was pushing another service cart.
And the tablecloth was light blue.
And the tablecloth was light blue, just like how I drew it. I need to read names.
What did you do with that service cart?
Beats me. She went into the Summer Palace with it, so I don't know. And when she came out, she was pushing the lift trolley.
The lift trolley?
When I called out to her, she was so surprised that she just left it there. She's so cute when she's shy.
A second service cart and lift trolley.
Maybe there were 2 tea sets along with 2 service carts.
We'll have to verify with Miss Hall.
I don't think that's the case. I think, Ms. Hall, we have the evidence to talk to you now. 2 service carts.
Is it true you keep 2 service carts on the premises?
Yes. Is there something wrong?
Earlier I was looking at one of the sketches from that so-called artist, and I noticed that he had drawn the cart's tablecloth a light blue.
Light blue? Are you sure you weren't mistaken, Monsieur? I've only ever used tablecloth that are pure white. That's true. The tablecloth here looks like the tablecloth here doesn't have a single spot on it. Yes, that's because I always change them immediately whenever they get dirty.
Did Larry really get the color wrong? What were you doing when this sketch was drawn?
At that time, I was just doing my job as usual.
Then could you tell me exactly what that work entails?
Tell me about your job.
What were you doing when you were drawn in this sketch?
From the looks of the drawing,
It doesn't seem that you were transporting the tea set.
This is when I was delivering chocolates to all the people in the investigation. Ah, how nice. Chocolates. I wish I could have gotten some too. There are still a few left, so please eat these then. I made them myself, though it's possible they might not suit your tastes. Woohoo! Thank you so much.
Thank you. Perhaps it's because she has them in her pocket, but it looks like they've melted a bit.
Little melted chocolates. Sweet goodness. I'm happy to hear you say that.
These chocolates are a little misshapen, but I'm glad to get some sugar in my system. Although they were a little too sweet for my taste.
Alright, do we have anything in logic then? Ah, okay. So we have different tea aroma and pots were switched. Makes sense. The Eureka is growing on me. It's got better now that it's got properly volume mixed in. Or mixed in, rather. Mixed it.
Maybe the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different was because the pots had been switched.
Really?
The taste of the tea itself did not actually change after all. Let's go ask Miss Hall about it in more detail. Miss Hall, was the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different because the pots were switched?
Yes, that's certainly possible.
It had a fresh minty...
Ooh. A minty aroma, you say? Like normalium? Da-na-na.
Not unlike that of Yuva tea.
Ah, I remember now. I prepared some mint tea yesterday. I'm sure that the aroma just happened to remain in the teapot.
The pearl in my pic I posted in the server is... Let's see. Aw. That's real cute.
I'm sure that the aroma just happened to remain in the teapot.
I don't know about that.
Is that really all there is to it?
Back at it. Bad habit. There was normalium in that pot.
Minty aroma was emanating from the pot Larry had replaced.
Miss Hall said the aroma was left over from the mint tea she prepared yesterday.
Indeed, she seemed less surprised to find out that Larry had broken the teapot, and more surprised by the fact that the pots had been switched.
That's right. Normally, it would have been the reverse. A broken teapot is much more shocking.
She was probably trying to hide the teapot.
Hide the pot?
One of the characteristics of normalium is a minty aroma. There is a possibility that she was hiding normalium inside this teapot.
What? Inside the pot, she made us drink normalium? What kind of shit? Is that allowed?
But it's only a possibility for now, but it's one worth investigating. Mr. DeBest, I assume you haven't found the normalium yet?
Huh? Oh. I've had the entire art museum searched, but I haven't received any reports yet. And what about you? Don't you have any ideas?
Only one.
I knew it. Nobody but me would have been able to find it. Wait, what? You have an idea where it is?
Indeed.
Then tell me.
It may have been in this teapot that Miss Hall had used.
Ooh, this teapot is pretty nice. It would make the perfect present for the best prosecutor.
It's not a present, it's an important piece of evidence.
Oh, it's just evidence. Then I guess I'll have forensics take a look at it. You got normalium in the pot. What was Kate doing back there?
Monsieur Edgeworth, is there something wrong with the teapot I used?
This teapot has a minty aroma to it. It's the same aroma as one of the two chemicals used to create the poison gas.
Monsieur Edgeworth, surely you don't mean... You suspect me of having set off the poison gas?
You're quite literally the only person I could think of. Give me back my perfect score. Always. Strive for perfection. Always.
I do. Setting up the poison gas trap in the Autumn Palace would have required some preparation. As the curator of this museum, you're the only one who could have prepared it in advance.
I wonder about that. Preparations for the opening of the museum took about a week, and I received help from both outsiders and Madame Delicia. I think there are people besides me who are also suspicious.
Of course, Delicia is also under scrutiny.
Furthermore, I don't even know how to create something like poison gas. Even if you found normalium in my teapot, there is no way I could have prepared the poison gas. Well then, I look forward to hearing the analysis results of the teapot.
Her excuse is that she doesn't know how to prepare the poison gas.
Interesting.
I must find a way to shatter that excuse.
Alright. Well, now that they've moved down here, not fucking K. I tried to click on the left side. Yeah, what's up? Nothing. Shut up, K. Let's look back at the fountain. Or let's talk to the guy, I guess. We've recovered the victim's body. Forensics are currently performing the autopsy.
And what of the investigation of the fountain?
The fountain is completely clear. Yeah, never mind. We read that a second ago. Alright, so what do we have now? I guess we could try to see if we have anything. No, because we're waiting on the report to come back, right? What do we do? Ray, what you got for me? Miles, how's the investigation going?
Well, little by little, I'm beginning to see the entire truth behind this case.
Oh, that's good to hear. Uncle Ray had better not fall behind either. About the two cases.
This case seems to have a lot in common with the case 18 years ago.
I agree. The melted ice in the Winter Palace and the body of the victim from 18 years ago. I wonder why nobody ever noticed the body was missing after all this time. The only family Mr. Dover had was a young son. His son and Mr. Gustavia's son, who attended the same elementary school. After the case, they both went missing. What? And they haven't been found yet? I haven't heard any news about Mr. Gustavia's son being found. But as for Mr. Dover's son, he was found, and his inheritance was delivered to him. And because of that, Mr. Dover never had a proper funeral. That way, they were able to make it look like the body had been in police custody. The autopsy report also had been forged, so nobody but the defense ever found out.
Von Kahl, you would go that far?
I guess we don't have anything else. Who do we have left to talk to? Is there quite literally anything else that we can get from this fucking... Yeah. Never mind. I don't even know why I did that. Yeah, we got this. Wait, have we got this? The body would have gone all goopy? I don't think we've read this.
I don't know if I would call it goopy. It certainly would have required a special method to preserve the body.
Yeah, I wonder if such a method even exists. Hey, Mr. Forensics guy, any new information? Yes. Normalium and Fatalium have been detected in the fountain water. What? It is just like 18 years ago. What? It must have flowed through the stream to the Autumn Palace to the fountain. Aside from forensic chemicals, we also found high levels of sugar. We're working hard on investigating it.
Sugar in the fountain water. What could have caused that?
Well, I mean, if it was made out of sherbet, or the chocolates. Interesting. Big stretch. All right. I got hose.
This is Edgeworth.
It's gumshoe, sir.
Did something happen?
Actually, right now, all the investigators but me have left the Winter Palace. So I can finally tell you what we found.
It's not good for a detective to be leaking out information about the investigation.
But that's all Gumshoe has ever done. All he does is leak information for the truth.
His resourcefulness has saved me many times during these past few days.
All the sculptures in the Winter Palace have melted. There's still some liquid left in the cases, but there's less in the Gemini case than in the Taurus case.
There's still liquid in the glass cases.
Yes, sir. We just investigated the light blue liquid a moment ago. We only detected sugar in the Taurus case, but for some reason, in the Gemini case, we detected 3 different substances.
The 3 substances.
They consisted of sugar, salt, and blood.
Blood? Blood and salt were detected in the Gemini case.
I wonder whose blood it could have been. I'd ask forensics to look into it, sir.
Right, I leave it to you, Detective. That reminds me, the forensics investigating the fountain patio contacted me. It seems the sugar found in the fountain matches that found in the light blue liquid. Oh, that sounds like valuable information.
Liquid analysis results jotted down.
Is that all the new information you have?
Ah, now that you mention it, we found a rainbow-like device in here too.
It's the device that was used to disguise the Autumn Palace. It seems the device was used in the IS-7 incident is also connected to this one. I should listen to what Delicia has to say about that.
I had to go back to investigate now, sir. When we get the results of the blood test, I'll let you know right away.
Yes, thank you, Detective.
Good guy, Gumshoe. Was that Gummy calling? That sure was a long call.
But thanks to him, we now have an important piece of information. In order to break Miss Hall's alibi, I'll need to talk to everyone involved in the IS-7 incident.
Well, the only person that we haven't talked to yet. Yawns.
Delicia, would you be willing to aid in the investigation?
Yesy, of course. Anything for Miley and Keife. I'll listen to whatever you have to say.
I was wondering if you could stop calling me Miley.
And stop calling me Keife. Phew, that's out of the question. I just can't change a name I've already decided on. Even if we ask her, she won't listen to what we have to say at all. Alright, decorations, setting off the poison gas.
Do you know anything about the decorations that are used in this museum? Specifically, the fluorescent cloths and a special device called a rainbow-like device.
Yes, see, of course I do. Because they are presents that I gave to Kate. As an apology for breaking the rules 18 years ago, I gave her 4 new rock salt lamps and the 4 fluorescent cloths I used in the contest. Wow, that sounds nice. Fluorescent cloths and rock salt lamps? Seems like only us girls can understand how wonderful they are. That's a cruel thing to say, Miss Delicious. I like them too, you know. Phew, that was back when Ray Ray was still a cute little boy. Back when Mr. Shields was a cute little boy? I can't even imagine it.
Are they the same decorations you saw 18 years ago?
Probably. The rock salt lamp, the cloth, and rainbow light device. They all seem the same.
4 fluorescent cloths were used in the Autumn Palace, but I have the feeling I saw one more of the same cloth.
Keife isn't even that bad. They're just shortening Faraday, which is ominously close to Faye. Yeah.
What is she searching for?
Yeah, she pulled one out of her bag.
Yeah. Let's show Delicia to have her confirm my suspicions.
Alright. So, let's go ahead and show her that she does indeed know what the fuck we talking about.
Wasn't there a dirty rag in your bag that looks similar to this?
Phew, I'm not going to give any information to someone who calls it a dirty rag.
Then would it be better if I called it a washcloth?
Wrong again. It's a fluorescent cloth. Baited. Absolutely baited. Look at Miles. It's a what? Blue tracksuit? Damn. Oopsie. That was supposed to be a secret.
Please tell me all you know about this fluorescent cloth.
First of all, setting off poison gas.
I'd like to ask you something since you're a pharmacist.
You can't spell pharmacist without harm. My ear. Had a scratch.
Exactly how would one gain the knowledge required to set off poison gas?
Oh, that's basic knowledge for any pharmacist acquainted with Megatoxin X. It even says on the warning label, danger, do not mix with Normalia. Well, yeah, but very clearly, niggas don't pay attention to warning labels. They never have and they never will. Niggas will make poison gas.
Then, is there another way for someone who isn't a pharmacist to obtain that information?
Well, it might be possible if they've seen the Angel's recipe.
The recipe book that was the grand prize of the contest 18 years ago.
Since it also contains the recipe to prepare Megatoxin X. Really interesting.
That's very interesting.
Does this mean that you've also seen the contents of the Angel's recipe?
Yesy, that's a given, of course. The pharmaceutical company I work for is the Master Group. It's the company that makes the Cold Killer X medicine.
Cold Killer X. The cold medicine that promises to kill colds. Good.
After Jeffy got declared guilty, the company took back the recipe book. However, only a small group of elite pharmacists have been allowed to see it, though.
So this woman is also a part of that small group of elite pharmacists.
Alright, what you got that fluorescent claw for? What in the world is in that bag? What you got in that bag?
Please tell me the reason why you hid this cloth.
Ooh, I guess I have no choice, since the cat's out of the bag. I found this cloth floating in the fountain, and right after that I was called to the Autumn Palace.
So that's the moment Larry captured his so-called sketches of beauty.
At first, I thought one of the fluorescent cloths I'd given Katie had washed away.
But you didn't only give 4 fluorescent cloths as a present. Didn't you only give 4 fluorescent cloths as a present to this museum?
There were 4 fluorescent cloths covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace, right? So that's when I realized that this was the cloth that went missing 18 years ago. Oh. The poison gas broke out because someone had stolen my Megatoxin X. So I thought the fluorescent cloth had also been used for the crime. I was afraid I'd be suspected, so I didn't say anything about it to anyone.
I see.
But I sure feel a lot better after talking about it. Stress isn't good for you. Or good for your figure, after all.
18 years ago, the cloth that was wrapped around the body went missing.
What?
Who would have thought it would turn up in the fountain along with the body?
Okay, so... Does that mean that, big yawn. Does that mean that the original, no, because that just means that, because I would assume that fucking Dover would not hold on to the cloth of the time that he almost got fucking murdered, unless he was specifically setting up the murder to look like it was a murder, and kind of stuff the whole competition. Interesting. Alright, but I think we're good. Now can we talk to you? Do we have anything to present to her? I don't think so. No, I don't think we do. Ray, anything else? Oh, Catherine Hall. We have something new. Was that there before? Did I fucking miss that?
Mr. Shields, could you tell me what kind of person Miss Hall is?
Huh? Miles, don't tell me. You're also interested in Katie?
No.
Well, all joking aside, all Uncle Ray can say is, Kate I know is truly an admirable woman. For 18 years, she always wanted to remain here and wait for Master's return. However, she was driven out of the mansion by Master's relatives.
She was driven out of the mansion?
That's because Kate isn't related by blood to Mr. Master. With no family and her job taken from her, she could only live on with the song and dance that Mr. Master had taught her. Well, she's now retired as a world-famous actress, though.
Why did she retire?
Because she had already saved up enough money to buy this mansion. It seems she even got back the Angel's recipe that had been Ooh. Interesting. This mansion, where she lived with Mr. Master, had been everything to her. She probably just wanted to take back everything that she lost.
It seems that Mr. Shields sympathizes with Miss Hall. But you could also say that her actions have taken away everything Mr. Master had.
Alright, we have logic now. It's contained in the book, what Kate did.
The method used to set off the poison gas is explained in the Angel's recipe. and the current owner of the Angel's recipe is Miss Hall.
So that means...
Indeed, it means that it is possible she knew how to set off the poison gas. With this, we can expose her lies for what they are.
Hey, hey, hey. What's going on? You, wanna do a little bit of talking now? Yeah. Wait, what? We didn't get any... No, okay, so fuck off. No, I guess not. What can examine this? Sunflowers? Oh, the lift trolley. Oh, okay, I thought that was like a fucking rug. I'm fucking blind, Jesus Christ.
This lift trolley has just been left here.
I wonder if it was used recently to carry something heavy.
The surface of the platform appears to be wet.
I remember seeing this lift trolley someplace before.
You mean during the IS-7 incident?
See what Stars put in jail? Look, I don't think that should be a great idea. But why? For what purpose? Why would you do this? Why would A, somebody do this, and why would B, you find this, and C, repost it into my jail? That's just gross. That's right, I remember now. It was in Dover's room. Oh, it was. If I remember correctly, it was used to transport the ice sculptures. The trolley has a feature that allows you to adjust the height and angle of the platform. With just one of these, a single person can move the sculptures all by themselves. Or a body.
Wow, how convenient. I want one too.
Why is there a lift trolley here? I guess that's something we'll need to think about.
Yes, it could be related to the case.
Really? Okay, sick.
Now, all that's left is to wait for the results of the teapot.
Yeah. We really only just need a little bit more shit. Oh. I mean, I guess to be continued? Does anybody know how long it's going to be until the next to be continued? Like, roughly? Oh, fuck it, we'll just keep it moving. It do not matter. It do not matter. April 2nd, 2:33 p.m., Zodiac Art Gallery. Fountain. Gang's all here. I have a report. We've detected traces of normalium from the teapot. You can't be serious. It's just like Mr. Edgeworth said. Should be close to the end, though. I can't imagine dragging much longer. Yeah, neither can I. Darn it. Did Mr. Edgeworth take the title from the best from me again? I just, I see there's going, like, I can feel another to be continued. Like, it feels like they're just sprinkling them in, like they're fucking, like it's goddamn Zatarans.
Mr. the Best, it seems like you have an obsession for being the best. But when you're on a case, winning and losing is of no importance.
Does anyone in the Ace Attorneyverse ever get fatter? Or even get fatter? I don't believe so. Other than the fucking... the president from the beginning of this game. The president of Zhang Fa.
What are you saying? It's obviously the best to be the best at everything.
If you can't understand that, then you have no business being a prosecutor.
What? Please stop harassing Sebastian. Sebastian, a person of your caliber has no need to listen to such things. Justine, yeah, you're right. Please leave this to me. Why don't you go check on the victim's condition? Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll be right back then. Alright, I'll be waiting.
Judge Courtney is much more troublesome than Mr. DeBeest.
Well then. Miss Curator, can you tell us why normalium was discovered in the teapot? I was not aware that it contained such a chemical. I suppose it may have been an ingredient from the detergent I had used. So you're saying you did not put it in deliberately? No, of course not. There is no way for me to have known how to create the poison.
Hold it, nigga.
Despite being a former actress, it seems you're not very good at lying.
What do you mean?
The angel's recipe is in your possession, and the method to create the poison gas is contained inside that recipe book. So you must have known how to create it.
I'm surprised you knew about that. Miss Curator, is this true? It's true that information about the poison gas is contained in one of the recipes. However, just because I saw it does not mean that I was responsible for the crime. Could you tell me what set off the poison gas? It was caused by the victim heating the lid of the glass case with a burner. I see. If he locked himself in that room of his own will and then set off the poison gas, wouldn't that suggest suicide?
Does she intend to deny it until the bitter end?
So we have to prove it's not a suicide?
Furthermore, I wouldn't have been able to obtain a chemical like Megatoxin X.
That may be true, but you could have stolen it from someone else.
That reminds me, I met up with Katie a week ago and... Lift it back up, there you go. That night was when I realized that my Megatoxin X was gone. Katie, you couldn't have. Madame Delicia always carried her medicine bag around with her. Anyone could have stolen it.
Always gotta have some murderers.
That's right. I don't have any proof that she was the one who stole it.
Kate, can you tell us what you're hiding?
I know you're not the kind of person who would hurt someone without a reason.
Monsieur Shields, you doubt me as well.
Setting a trap on one of the gallery's exhibits, and then disguising the other rooms. I just think it would have been impossible for anyone but the curator.
That's not true. There are no guards or security cameras at this gallery. If any ill-intentioned person wanted to sneak into the gallery, it would have been an easy task for them. Then, isn't it like an all-you-can-steal buffet in here? Okay, calm down. You have to be careful. You'll never know when a great thief could appear.
It doesn't sound like a joke when Kay says it.
Yeah? Because she's serious?
Actually, Monsieur Gustavia appeared and apparently entered the gallery before it opened.
Well, I'm beat. Looks like Uncle Ray can't do anything to break down Kate's iron guard. This might be a good time to use the technique your old man taught.
The technique my father taught you.
This case is deeply connected to the one from 18 years ago. If we just pursue the present case, it may seem like there's a lot we don't understand. But if we try turning things around, there might be a hint in the case from the past.
Thinking the other way around. Did my father do that too?
For example, just consider the relationship between the past case and Kate.
Miss Hall melted Mr. Dover's shepherd sculptures 18 years ago. And today Mr. Dover's works are on display in this gallery. It can't be she. I see. And now I know what to ask her.
That's good to hear. In that case, Uncle Ray will just watch over you as you do your work. Big yawn. Why am I being pinged? Oh, Jajolian chapter came out. Never mind. Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Miss Catherine Hall, 18 years ago, it seems that you melted Mr. Dover's shepherd sculptures.
Yes, I was young and inexperienced, and I did something inexcusable.
However, isn't that why you were able to open the Zodiac Art Gallery?
I don't know what you mean. I don't understand either. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you seek her testimony?
Yes, I would like her to tell me about the Zodiac Art Gallery. I would like to know the reason you decided to open a gallery for Mr. Dover's artwork.
If you insist that this is related to the case at hand, I will allow it.
Let me cook this bitch.
Miss Curator, your testimony, if you please. Very well. If that will clear up your suspicions about me. Now then, please testify about the Zodiac Art Gallery.
Zodiac Art Gallery. Fair enough. 18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I collected Pierre Hoquet's works from all over the world. After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery. Interesting.
It's wonderful that your dream has come true. What do you think, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I don't believe there was anything strange about her testimony.
Judge Courtney, I believe that in courtroom, it is standard to cross-examine the witness. Wouldn't you agree it's a little early to say that there are no contradictions?
You speak like a defense attorney. Very well. Proceed as you please.
I think, you collected them from all over the world, and why were you holding onto that picture? You had to remake them, right? It's pretty much a got 'em GG's. "18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion. Yep, in order to maintain it, manage it as an art gallery. Yep. You collected Pierre Hoquet's work from all over the world. Tell me about that."
Pierre Hoquet. That's Mr. Dover's alias, correct?
Yes, it's the name he used when he worked as a sculptor in France.
About collecting his works. How did you prepare the Taurus and Gemini sculptures? I heard that Mr. Dover passed away before he completed those two sculptures.
I had the sculptures in the Winter Palace specially made, based on the photos I took.
Oh. Could you tell us about that in more detail?
After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery. Okay. Oh, okay. I got scared because I didn't know if it was going to be the end or not. I prepared replicas of the sculptures in the Winter Palace based on the photos I took. Yeah. Sure, bud. Sure. So why did you use sugar if you didn't want to, if you were just recreating them? You should have known they were made out of sugar.
Did you really think that your excuses would continue to hold up? No matter how much you lie, you can't deny the composition of the sculptures. From the analysis results, it's quite clear that the sculptures in the Winter Palace are the sherbet sculpture Mr. Dover created.
What? Wait. They're the fucking sherbet statues from 18 years ago? What? Y'all niggas tripping. What we call sugar actually comes in many different varieties and tastes. Even if the sculptures were replicas, it's nearly impossible to replicate the composition.
I see. Thank you for your explanation. Although I don't recall asking for it. That, Miss Hall, means you couldn't have melted the sherbet sculptures back then. You stole them and preserved them for 18 years.
What? She preserved the sherbet for 18 whole years? Huh. If you freeze it properly, it's not impossible.
Silence, please. Miss Curator, what do you have to say? I can't believe you are already uncovered so much. So you're admitting that you stole the sherbet sculptures? No, I cannot admit to such a thing. There isn't any proof that I stole them after all. Also, I couldn't have stolen the sculptures 18 years ago. I don't think they would have been easy to steal without the police noticing.
Is that so? I don't know what you did 18 years ago. As such, how can I judge how difficult it would have been to steal them?
It looks like you won't give up so easily.
I don't intend on giving up until I learn the truth.
I understand. Then I shall tell you what I did 18 years ago.
Don't be what you did 18 years ago. What I did 18 years ago. God damn it.
On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging, at Monsieur Master's request, I went to change the film in the camera.
So that's when you wanted to. I get it. That's when you were going to move the statues.
But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation.
Ah. Remember the saucers were cold, and then they weren't cold. Gotcha.
It was then that I witnessed Monsieur Gustavia entering Monsieur Dover's room. And that was everything I had done on that day. I don't think there is anything suspicious about my actions.
That's not your decision to make.
Mr. Edgeworth, were there any contradictions in her testimony?
For now, I should just prove that she stole the sculptures. But when could Miss Hall have stolen them? If I can answer that, her crime should come to light.
Day of the incident, waiting in the main building until the judging. You went to go change film in the camera. Yeah. Before you could deliver the camera, you found the body. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation.
Did you do so in the same manner as today?
Yes, I poured tea for everyone working on the investigation.
Now that you mention it, Uncle Ray also got some tea from you that day. Kate was pushing her service cart back and forth from the patio to the main building.
I see. Did anything seem out of strange to you then?
Well, I remember your old man singing praises of her Ceylon tea. He also said something about how the saucer was chilled. Oh, well.
The saucer was chilled. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then?
Yeah?
This is when you stole the shepherd sculptures.
I'm sorry, but Monsieur Shields and company were at the fountain patio the entire time. Are you saying that I stole them in broad daylight?
That's precisely what I'm saying.
Well.
This is where she hid the sculptures, to steal them right under their noses.
Take that!
Shake.
Neither my father nor Mr. Shields realized the sculpture was right in front of them. What you were pushing around was no ordinary service card. It was the sculpture itself.
What do you mean?
But surely that would still be impossible. If she placed the sculptures on the service cart, people would have noticed immediately.
No.
I never said she used the service cart to move the sculptures.
She used the fucking lift trolley, right? Yeah.
What? What do you mean? Then what did she use to move the sculptures around?
This is what Miss Hall used to transport the sculptures.
And this is why we needed it. Okay. There we go.
And this is...
This is the lift trolley Mr. Dover used 18 years ago to move his shepherd sculptures. It seems the same lift trolley lies here in the fountain patio.
That's because it was originally prepared for the contest in the first place. Are you saying she used the lift trolley to move the sculptures?
Yes. The sculptures were placed on this lift trolley, then covered with a tablecloth. It could be disguised as a service card, removed without arousing suspicion.
How could that be?
So the saucers were chilled because they were sitting on the ice sculptures. Okay, what's the meaning of this? What were you thinking?
That was truly impressive. You certainly are Monsieur Gregory's son. After 18 years, it's hard to imagine any proof that I stole the sculptures remained. But I knew it was only a matter of time until I was suspected. Miss Curator, does this mean you admit to stealing the sculptures? Yes, I admit it. 18 years ago, I stole the sherbet sculptures from Monsieur Dover's room. It's just as Monsieur Edgeworth says. I disguised the lift trolley as a service car, and I served tea as I made my way back and forth. That wasn't all. I also took the ice block with all the star clusters on it.
An ice block with star clusters on it. That seems familiar.
Yep. Inside has to be hollow.
The Winter Palace is a reproduction of Mr. Dover's room from 18 years ago. Because they had it melted, my father never got the chance to see them. But those blocks of ice were also originally from Dover's shepherd salon.
The 2 sculptures and the 2 blocks of ice. I took everything I could. And then I placed empty glass cases inside Monsieur Dover's room. The sculptures were all encased in glass to preserve their fine details. But the ice blocks were being displayed as they were. As per the rules, we prepared the glass cases for Mr. Dover.
So it would have been easy for her to prepare the glass cases.
In Monsieur Dover's room, there were some sculptures that were still unfinished. I thought if I melted them, it would look like the ones that I stole had melted too. So everything you see in the Winter Palace are all original works from 18 years ago. Miss Hall, it didn't take much to get her to confess.
Then she must know. She knows it isn't enough to try her in court.
That is all I have to say. But even though I admit to stealing the sculptures, you can't arrest me for it.
God, I hate these people. And yes, that one is racist. But what do you mean by that? People that wear roses. That's a race of people, I assume.
You're assisting an investigation without knowing this much. Perhaps you should read this book concerning the statute of limitations.
No! Not the kid book! No!
Statute of limitations?
Alright. God damn it.
To put it simply, it's the time frame in which a suspect can be taken to court. You can see on this page.
Murder 15 years, theft 7 years if the suspect... Oh, fuck me.
Statute of limitations for murder is 15 years, and for theft it's 7?
Ah! That's right. And Miss Hall's theft was 18 years ago. According to the statute, she cannot be arrested for stealing the sculptures.
So that's how it is.
I mean, yeah, like normal theft. Isn't that technically obstruction of justice? You can throw that bitch in jail.
However, for this crime at least, we have no right to pass judgment.
Yeah, no, you can definitely fucking... That's crime tampering. That's not just the theft alone.
It appears that Prosecutor Edgeworth's tepid reasoning has been all for naught.
You're so dumb. You thought I was just doing it to prove that she stole that shit? Yeah, nah. I'm not done here.
I wonder about that. I deduce Miss Hall's actions simply to expose a different crime. If she only took the sculptures, we wouldn't have found the body from 18 years ago.
Are you saying that I hid Monsieur Dover's body?
That's correct.
But how can someone hide a body for 18 years?
I would imagine it would be very difficult under normal circumstances.
So you're saying the circumstances weren't normal? Are you claiming that you know where the body was hidden?
I just assumed that motherfucker got up and walked away.
When you consider Miss Hall's actions, the answer becomes obvious. 18 years ago, Miss Hall stole something more than just sherbet sculptures.
If you are so confident, I would like to hear your answer. Can you just calm it down?
Where did Miss Hall hide the body? In the fucking, Winter Palace, technically.
This is the photograph of Mr. Dover's sculptures.
Yes, and perhaps you've noticed that the victim's body can be seen in this picture.
I do not see it. Please point it out clearly. Where in this picture can one see the body of the victim?
It's time to expose the location of the body in this photograph.
Gang.
The Gemini sculpture?
Yes, while it may look like the Gemini sculpture at first glance, in reality this is none other than Isaac Dover himself.
This ice sculpture was the victim's body, but all I can see from this picture is an ice sculpture statue.
And that's because a certain piece of evidence was used to conceal it.
Yeah. Which piece of evidence did Miss Hall use to conceal the body?
This is the cloth that was covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace.
This cloth manipulates light. With it, it's entirely possible to make something look like ice. Isn't that right, Delicia?
Yesy! When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice. That cloth will only emit light if it is attached to a special device.
Judge Courtney, look closely at the picture one more time. Beneath the Gemini case lies a box-shaped object attached to the pedestal.
Yep. This is the RLD, the Rainbow Light Device.
Detective Gumshoe reported one in the Winter Palace. This is the device that went missing 18 years ago. Originally, it would have been attached to the cloth inside the glass case. Naturally, Miss Hall took the device with her when she moved the sculptures.
Wait, so the cloth was how long was the body sitting in the fucking fountain? Because that means the cloth was sitting in the fountain when Larry was doing his sketch of beauties. So, oh no, he said they aren't from the same time. Never mind. I lie.
Mr. Dover's body was made to look like an ice sculpture.
That's ridiculous.
So then, when Uncle Ray took a photo of the Winter Palace... That's right. The body had been in front of us all along, disguised as Gemini.
However, the body and the fluorescent cloth were both discovered in the fountain. If the ice sculpture was the body, we would have found it in the Winter Palace.
If we had found it there, her trick would have been revealed immediately. Miss Hall moved the body out of the Winter Palace to prevent us from discovering it.
Absurd. You say she threw the body into the fountain without any of us noticing.
No, Judge Courtney. There was no need for that.
Imagine getting murdered and then hidden inside your own sculpture and then having it paraded around.
She simply used the same method as before. Remember the lift trolley. She moved the body to some other room and dumped it into the stream instead of the fountain. Naturally, the frozen body would have sunk to the bottom of the fountain. That's why the cloth floated up first and was found by Delicia.
And eventually, the body thawed out and floated to the surface. Monsieur Edgeworth, you truly have a gift for deductive reasoning. However, do you have any proof that I moved the body?
Oh, Mr. Larry Butts, now is your time to shine.
If you cannot prove that, then there is no way I can accept what you are saying.
Wasn't there anyone who saw Miss Hall move the body?
Yes, I believe such a person exists. The answers lie in the evidence that person gave me. And that piece of evidence will reveal the truth of Miss Hall's actions.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you able to prove the crime of Miss Curator?
Certainly. I have evidence that will show exactly what she did.
Then it's time we see your answer. Which piece of evidence reveals Miss Curator's actions? Hey, where the sketch is at? Sketch of beauties! Another sketch. Oh, it appears I have been drawn in this one.
This is a sketch Larry drew of the women at the fountain patio. I would like to direct your attention to the service card on the left side of the sketch.
Service card? What about it?
Don't you see? What transpired 18 years ago has happened again.
It's really insane. It's not even just Larry, it's Larry's sketches. If Larry draws something, it's important.
Miss Hall was moving the body in this sketch.
No. Please wait. I don't see Monsieur Dover's body anywhere in that drawing. All I did was hand out chocolates to everyone.
The key detail in the sketch is the color of the tablecloth. Up until now, I thought Larry had just made a mistake.
The tablecloth, it's light blue.
It may be light blue in the sketch, but no blue tablecloth exists in this mansion. Perhaps it's light blue because the body was hidden, still glowing underneath the tablecloth.
What? But the lift trolley is rectangular in the sketch. If she just placed the body in the lift trolley, we would notice it immediately.
Yeah? About that.
There were 2 blocks of ice in the Winter Palace that are completely hollowed out. If she put the body inside the block of ice, it would look like a service card.
That's...
Miss Hall, you put the body in the block of ice and used the lift trolley to move it, didn't you?
This is one of the most convoluted fucking plots that we've had in an Ace Attorney, like, murder case. And the crazy thing is, it's just moving a body that was already dead.
I never imagined you'd be able to do so much from a single sketch. But what if it was just a mistake, like you said before? It doesn't prove anything.
I agree that alone the sketch is worthless. Once you remove the body, the service cart would revert back to a lift trolley. That's why the lift trolley was left behind in the fountain patio. And without the service cart, there would be no place for you to put your chocolates.
The chocolates I gave everyone.
Until then, the chocolates had sat on top of the service cart, as you gave them away. But when you gave them to us, you took them from your pocket.
Ah, now that you mention it, they were a bit melted. But they were still really sweet and tasty.
So why was it necessary to put them in your pocket halfway through?
That's because...
That's because once the body was disposed of, you no longer had a service cart.
Hold it right there. If she put the chocolates in her pocket and left the lift trolley in the patio, then where did the tablecloth go?
If she had been forced to put the chocolates in her pocket, she wouldn't have had time to dispose of the tablecloth.
Bravo. That's fantastic. Any guessers want to realize where the tablecloth is? Any guessers, Mr. Starsman? You got a guess for where that tablecloth is? Anybody at all? Come on, so at least one person. Let me see. Go ahead. Hazard a guess. Just shoot one out there. If you get stumped, I can give you a hint. I got a good hint for you. Manfred got it? Nah. Manfred doesn't have it. We've been staring at it this whole time.
The tablecloth wasn't hidden. It's right in front of us.
Do clarify. The tablecloth used to hide the body. Where is it now?
Shake.
Isn't it obvious? Miss Hall is carrying it with her out in the open.
Out in the open? You mean...
Miss Hall, you are wearing the tablecloth around your waist.
Got him.
The block of ice was not encased in a glass case. In other words, the tablecloth was in direct contact with the block of ice. If we haven't examined it, we would undoubtedly find traces of sherbet on it. Miss Hall, you will turn your tablecloth over to the police at once.
For the culprits that hide the evidence on their body, either in or on their body, are the real ones. This one was like the best one that's been done thus far. It's literally like, oh, she's you don't think twice because they show you her doing it once. They show you her doing it exactly once in the past. She rips the tablecloth off and ties it around her waist. And you think like, oh, that's just her presenting her full sprite. No, that's your hint. That's actually really well done. I'm really glad that they did that. It's so missable because you would never think to look there, and you would never think about like her introduction either. That's probably one of the best things. Oh, that's so good.
There's no need to examine the tablecloth. It is just as you say. I stole the poison from Madame Delicia, and I moved the body. I have done terrible things. Madame Delicia, I am so sorry. 1 week ago, I took your Megatoxin X bottle. I slipped it into that man's pocket to make it look like suicide. And if they suspected it was murder, evidence would point to Madame Delicia. Katie?
Kate, what were you thinking? Were we always trying to save Mr. Master together?
I could not let myself be arrested. Not until I had proven Monsieur Master's innocence. From the very beginning, I had planned to turn myself in once everything was over. But I suppose it was too late now. Or it's too late to say that now.
Kate, why? Why would you go this far?
Even for Monsieur Shields, I've caused nothing but trouble. For the past 18 years, I have been a criminal. The IS-7 incident. Don't tell me that you are the true culprit. My greatest crime was stealing the sherbet sculptures for my own selfish interests. When Monsieur Dover died, they were no longer just ordinary sculptures. They had become the final works of the sculptor Monsieur Master so deeply loved. What if they melted before Monsieur Master returned? With that in mind, I couldn't let anyone touch them, not even the police. Even though I knew it was wrong, I moved them to the mansion's freezer. However, I only wanted to preserve Monsieur Dover's art. I did not know his body was hidden among them.
So she stole the sculptures without noticing the body.
Monsieur Master would never take another person's life, but because of me, the body vanished, and Monsieur Master was found guilty. That kind man, he treated someone like me as family. He meant more to me than anyone else, and yet...
Kate.
When Monsieur Master was found guilty, I was chased out of the mansion. I was finally able to reclaim the mansion just a few days ago, but... when I saw the sculptures still sleeping away in the freezer, I realized that I was the one who hid Monsieur Dover's body. However, the statute of limitations had already expired.
Yeah, but that's for theft. Like I said, there's a couple more charges on top of that you could be facing, but, you know, whatever.
Therefore, I could think of no other way to atone for my sins.
It appears I have misunderstood her. It seems she caused this entire incident in order to save Mr. Master.
What do you think about Mr. Edgeworth?
There is one thing that has been bothering me this whole time. Why would Miss Hall plan a murder with such an uncertain method for, like, poison gas? And the reason she disguised the Autumn Palace to look like the Winter Palace. dun-dun-dun, was to make those involved with the incident 18 years ago confuse the two rules. I wonder what Kate was trying to accomplish. She's trying to get the real culprit. She was trying to prove Mr. Masters' innocence. In that case, Miss Hall's true objective was to find the true culprit. Perhaps she was trying to find the true culprit. Miss Hall, were you trying to prove Mr. Masters' innocence? You wanted to reveal the true culprit and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Was it not your true goal? By displaying those sculptures, you would attract those involved in the past incident. Only two people would know where the body was hidden. You and the true culprit. The culprit would have panicked, knowing that the body would be displayed publicly. Yes, and if the culprit really showed up, then there's the risk they'd erase their tracks. In the worst case scenario, they might have even stolen the body. So, how could she protect the evidence while simultaneously luring in the culprit?
I see. That's why she made the Autumn Palace look like the Winter Palace.
Yes, and then Miss Hall, you must have thought. Whoever opens the Pisces case, believing it to be the Gemini case, must be the true culprit of the IS-7 incident.
What? But that means that person is the true culprit. Please wait a moment, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Do you realize what you're saying? Do you intend to accuse that person of being the culprit behind the IS-7 incident?
Oh, hell yeah!
Miss Hall was trying to trap the true culprit. If so, wouldn't the person who fell for the trap be the true culprit? However, I have no evidence to back up my claims. If I make a formal accusation without any proof, it will not end well. Should I announce the true killer of Isaac Dover?
Well, what's he gonna do? Fucking wake up and say, "No, I didn't"?
What I should do is reveal the truth. In that case, there is no need to hesitate.
Shake that head.
Yes, that's correct. Judge Courtney. I indict this person as the true culprit behind the IS-7 incident.
Take that!
Dan Gustavia, who fell victim to the poison gas, is the true culprit of the IS-7 incident.
Gusty is... Raise?
Mr. Gustavia. Miss Hall, didn't you believe that if you open this gallery, the true culprit would come? That's why you set up the poison gas trap, is it not?
You truly have a gifted mind, just like your father. It is as you say, Monsieur Edgeworth.
Now, would you please tell us the whole truth?
Yes, I have nothing more to hide. I will tell you everything. I set a trap in the gallery to find the true culprit. Before the gallery opened, I left only the Autumn Palace unlocked. At opening time, when I went around to unlock each room, I discovered that the Autumn Palace had been locked from the inside. I knew that the true culprit was on the other side of the door. My hand was trembling.
All that was left was for the trap to do its work.
When I heard Monsieur Gustavia was exposed to the poison gas, I realized he was the culprit. And I thought that if the police discovered Monsieur Dover's body, it would prove Monsieur Master's innocence.
Why didn't you ever come talk to me? There might have been another way.
I know that you did everything you could for me over the past 18 years. However, all of this had been brought on by my own crime. That's why I wanted to save Monsieur Master as soon as possible.
Kate.
Not only that, the police hid the fact that the body went missing 18 years ago. Even if I reported the body, there was a chance that the truth would be hidden again. That's why I caused the incident at the museum's opening, with as many witnesses as possible.
I'm sorry. Gregory, Mr. Master, and even you. I couldn't protect anyone. Mr. Shields, it must be tough on him as well.
The one who should be apologizing is me. Monsieur Edgeworth, Monsieur Shields. I'm terribly sorry. I shall accept whatever punishment I am given. However, I must ask of you, please clear Monsieur Master's name.
The truth that was hidden for 18 years was revealed in an unexpected manner. However, to think that things would end this way.
I thought that was going to be the end of it. Okay. Well, geez, how long is this fucking case? I don't know. There's got to be at least... How many parts have we gone through right now? We had one... let me count the to be continues. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th to be continued. No, this is the 8th to be continued, isn't it? Dog. So if there's 8, how many beginning parts are there? How many middle parts are there? If there's 8 and we're technically going, is it a 3-part beginning, 3-part middle? Strategy Wikia says the beginning has 2 parts, middle has 4, and the end has 3. That I think this is the last part. It makes sense for this to be the last part. I thought this was going to be the last part. But wouldn't it make more sense to cut it up into 3, 3, and 3? 3 beginning, 3 middle, 3 end? Or maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it is. I just looked. Okay. So, I assume that this is going to be a shorter one. However, I kind of want to save this. I kind of want to save the conclusion for tomorrow. But what we are going to do real quick is I want to load this back because we did just save. And I want to see if it'll say the inherited turnabout end part 3. Okay, it does say on startup. Okay, so end part 3. So yeah, I guess technically it does. It just doesn't say when you're saving, and that's the problem for me. So I guess if I want to know, I can just quit out and go back to the beginning. 2 beginning, 4 middle, and 3 end. Yeah, it made more sense for it to be symmetrical for me. Like 3 beginning, 3 middle, 3 end. It would have made more sense. So I assume whatever's on that strategy wikia shit probably is right. But I think that's gonna do it for us for today. Would like to thank you all very much for coming out. Thank you once again to Gallus for keeping Nipple in with the family. But aside from that, I will catch you with the conclusion of this case tomorrow, and hopefully the start of episode 4. But until then, I'll have to catch you guys later. Peace.